I think it might be me that's introducing it this time because I think you've done the last couple because I was coughing my
I think
guts
it
up
is.
many
I
times.
think it is. The schedule rundown is in the thing with a rough intro if you want to use it or just not. I don't care.
I'm gonna fucking wing it. Let's go for it.
Well, like, fuck all my hard work this afternoon then. I don't care.
I tried looking for it when everything was crashed out. I couldn't fucking find it. I was like, oh, I'm not pissing about it. What I'll do this very long intro that is apparently what we've been doing now for the last 30 odd seconds, and then you can run through the schedule and I'll just talk shite. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to 2026. We are Cosplay, Togs, and all things nerdy. This is the first podcast of this year. I am Switch. This is Darren, iPhotoUK. And this time, as you notice, we are talking bullshit for the next however long we decide to do it. It's going to be more of a nerdier episode. So we're, talking films, TV, games. Maybe might geek out about Godox and their new lighting's effects that they've been bringing out for the last couple of weeks because it seems to be coming out. But anyway, we'll touch base on that in a second. For the camera nerds and lighting geeks, and then we'll probably wrap up the episode with some Nexus liberation or chat and some bits and pieces, so everyone is kind of aware of some of the stuff that me and Darren have been talking about over the last few months and where we're up to and what we're planning to do this year. So, further ado, we'll carry on talking bullshit for the next however long.
I mean, we always talk bullshit, but, this time we're talking bullshit on our own.
Yeah. So, no, there's no guests. We are the guests this week or this month. So, yeah. Where do we start? What does the agenda that you spent hours this afternoon doing whilst I was working my ass off?
Well, I mean, we're going to start with movies, but before we do that, I'm going to get myself a drink. But I just wanted to shout out to the guys that made this, which is First Class Designs on Instagram. This is not a paid promo. I buy their stuff because I love it. They did my first beer glass back in like 2020 or 2021, something like that, and it's really, really lasted well. And I wanted a tumbler for like rum and whiskey and things like that, and I sent them this logo, and they did me this awesome glass, and I'm really, really happy with it. It's like it didn't break the bank. I think it was about 21 quid, something like that. And that included this really cool, like, the lights reflecting, really cool coaster, which I absolutely love. So I just wanted to geek out a little bit, really. I mean, we are on a nerdy episode, so I'm just going to pour myself a rum.
I think, I was looking at it the other day because obviously you sent me the link twice now because I'm just apparently can't retain any information that anyone tells me over the last few months. I was looking at them yesterday and waiting for payday, and then I might get a couple while we're at it, and mixture between my branding and podcast and Nexus.
Yeah. I mean, I'm drinking this evening as well. I picked this up from MCM London back in October, I think. I think it was October MCM.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And it is really, really nice. Really impressive. It's the caramel one. It's just a normal, like, strength. I think it's like 40%. They do like an overproof, which is like 60 or 70%. I tried it and I did like that one, but I just felt this one was a bit better for sort of like mixing. Because I do tend to drink rum as a mixer. And it just really, really works. And
well, I've still got my mead, but I'm waiting for the day that I have the new branded one. So I got the mead at MCM Birmingham at Christmas.
Yes, you did, yeah.
I sat on my desk. I will be doing some. I'm planning on doing some photo shoots with it as well, and doing some product shooting.
Nice
with it all because I've got Astro Coffee as well.
When I've got rum in it under Coke, it tip it that way. The lettering really stands out, which is what I like about this. Because I use my white text logo rather than the black one, and it really, really, I'm really impressed with that.
I'll probably go for the logo that is currently advertised on my hat. I'm only wearing a hat today because my hair is an absolute mess. I've literally come from work, I've gone, and
that'll look really good on a glass, actually.
Yeah, so I want something simple. You know,
So yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna try
I
this.
only really tend to use a branded glass when I'm on the podcast, but I just thought, why not get another one? So
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna wait until I get that, and I'm gonna do some sort of product shooting whilst at home
yeah,
stuff because I've got the Hive Mead from like I said from CM. Also not sponsored by them. I've also got some Astro Coffee that I've been meaning to do some bits. Also not sponsored by them, but obviously that's a close friend of ours, Chloe Hill. That's
I
her
love her
baby.
coffee.
Yeah, so I've got that. I'm waiting to get some bits and pieces, and then I'm gonna do some shoots for that.
I
Yeah,
mean, you'll probably be seeing a load of Asteroid Coffee spam from me at some point this year.
yes, will be, won't
Chloe's
we?
asked me to be her photographer, so that'll be some interesting stuff, and I really love it as well. So
Yeah, talk
yeah,
about that. You need to touch base with her on Friday and find out what's anything we've got planned with her to get sorted out because she keeps forgetting stuff.
yeah, I keep forgetting stuff as well. I think we're all as bad as each other. And we
Okay.
still need to get her back on the episode at some point. So yeah, now all the brand shout outs are out the way. We will put a link to to First Class Designs as well because I think they're guys here, like a small independent company, and I really love what they do. So
Yeah, no, they're really cool. I looked at their stuff.
movies, then, I think we last did a nerdy episode back in around about September, middle of September.
Did yes, I think
I
something like that.
can't remember which ones we talked about that we'd seen. I'm going to start with Ballerina. Apologies if we talked about this last
We
time because I
did.
can't remember. But I've watched it again because I saw it at the cinema when it first came out. I've watched it again since. Now it's on streaming. Um, and I still really like it, but it did second time round. It did highlight a few of the faults
Mm.
in the story and a few other bits. And I'm not sure whether this is going to be a movie that will warrant a second.
They've already said there isn't going to be a
As
second one.
much
No,
there is or there isn't.
no, there isn't.
There isn't. No, I
No.
think initially from the way it ended, it seemed like there was, but I just don't think there was enough take up from the fans. And
I
watching
think
it a second time around,
I think they left it
I'm
open for. I think they left it open for
yeah,
potential second if it had done well, but I think it didn't do as well as they were hoping. So I think
no, no.
that's it for the ballerina side of things.
Which is a shame because I really like Anna de Armas and I like her character. I
Mm.
just think they missed a few tricks with it, in my opinion. And I think it could have been. It was still a good film. It wasn't a
Yes.
great film. Second time round, I think when I saw it in the cinema, obviously you see it on the big screen, it enhances the experience. Watching it at home, whilst it was good, I don't feel it was great, which is a shame. Hopefully, them leaving it open means that if they do any other spin-offs, that maybe she could make an appearance in that. Maybe I don't know, but
There is potential. I know there's another John Wick film, and I think that's the
there is.
last of
Yes,
the John Wick
yeah.
films.
Well, they said that
So
about the last one.
yeah, it's like Cyberpunk. They're not doing more updates, but yet another update's coming out. It's no, I think who was the I can never remember his name. He's the Asian guy who was blind in the last film.
But yes, yes,
I
yes.
heard rumors that there's a potential that there might be a spin-off with him involved in it, which would be
That would
quite
be
interesting.
interesting.
But we'll see. I mean, I enjoyed that film. I didn't get a chance to go see it in the cinema. I sat and watched it when it came out at home. I thoroughly enjoyed it as an entertaining film. I think it flowed into the John Wick franchise very well. But I wouldn't say it was the most. It wasn't the most best. It wasn't the best film of 2025.
No,
Again, it was still a entertaining and fun watch. It kept me happy, like as an entertainment perspective throughout the whole thing. So I was happy about that.
Yeah, there were elements of the storyline that just didn't quite stack up for me, I think.
I think, yeah, no, I think 2024 was a bit of a lackluster year for films. It wasn't very much to scream about last year.
No, No, I mean the one that I was hoping would be the standout for me turned out not to be. Well, the two really, Ballerina and Tron Ares. I didn't catch Tron Ares at the cinema, um, and I watched that at home. And again, whilst I felt it was a good film, um,
It missed the
it
mark
wasn't
like
a
the
great
second
film.
one and
It
the
missed
first
the
one.
mark. It, you know, the second one was quite cheesy in places, but there was just something about it that
I think it was
gripped me
cheesy,
from
but
start to finish.
it was the right sort of cheesy for the time it came out. But that's the thing. If we watch it back now, if it got released now, I don't think it would do as well from a cheese perspective. But I think at the time it was the right sort
It
of
didn't do
humor.
very
And
well at the time. It
no,
didn't
it
do well,
didn't.
and
It's kind
Legacy
of coming.
didn't. But it's gathered like pace over the years. I don't think Ares will.
Uh, do you
Um,
know what though? I didn't watch Aries at cinema, but I watched it a few weeks ago when it came out. And again, I was pleasantly surprised with it because I'm not a massive fan of Jared Leto as an
no,
actor. But I tell you what, I actually didn't mind him in this. He wasn't.
I would say it was one of his better performances.
It was. I don't think find him that bad. I didn't mind the storyline or the story arc for it was different. So at least we weren't back predominantly doing that, and it
Yeah.
had a
Again,
relatively
I think they just
easy.
missed the storyline was okay, but they just missed the mark with it. Going at it as sort of like a standalone, not a follow on from Legacy, I think was the biggest mistake.
Yes, no, 100%. I think,
But then, setting it up to have a follow on from Legacy, but then doing so bad that it just killed the franchise. It just didn't make a lot of sense in that
yeah,
vein.
no, it wasn't, it wasn't terrible. I
No,
was really worried going into it because of the trailers I saw for it. I wasn't overly impressed. Didn't rip me enough to want to go straight away to go see it. It wasn't hype for it. And then obviously with the announcement of it being Jared Leto, I was a bit like, oh. But I tell you what, he was
yeah,
actually a stronger part of that film. I actually didn't mind
yeah,
it
I agree.
in it.
I agree. One thing that also surprised me was the soundtrack because when they obviously Daft Punk did Legacy and that was absolutely legendary. When they said that Nine Inch Nails, although it's not Nine Inch Nails, it's the two main guys, and I know they've done a lot of movie scores. But when they said that those guys were doing the Aries soundtrack, I was a bit concerned because their style isn't typical of that movie,
Like
that type
techno
of movie.
side, yeah.
Um, sort of like cyberpunky, a bit synthwavy, you know, electronic computer kind of esque movies are not usually their forte for movie scores. However, I was really, really pleasantly surprised with the soundtrack. I think it did a great job.
It was, yeah. I mean, we
And it
heard the
really
songs
helped
prior
carry
to
the
the
movie
film.
through.
We had the
Yeah, it
songs
really,
prior to the film coming out, and they
yeah,
were brilliant. I think that was some of the stuff that actually drove me to want to go see it because the soundtrack did sound really quite good. Yeah, I mean, moving on to another sort of film, and I know we haven't spoke about this, but this is a film that I actually watched the other day, even though it came out um, last year. Is The Running Man with? I know it's a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger one back from the 80s or 90s, and it's got Glenn Powell, who was in Top Gun and stuff like that. Um, Again, it's not the best film, but do you know what? From the moment it started to the moment it ended, I was gripped. I was intrigued. I was really kind of hooked on the film, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, it comes down to that cheesy factor, and it is very much kind of playing with that sort of 90s cheese a little bit with
yeah.
elements of it.
I've
But
not seen it yet. I was hoping to catch it at the cinema, but I didn't. So I might watch it tomorrow.
it's a good watch. I think I'm not gutted I didn't see it in the cinema, but I am happy I've seen it. And I'm actually quite like, do you know what? That's one film I can kind of, once a year go, I haven't seen that in a while. I'll watch that again. That's not
When
bad.
I learned they were doing a remake, I was a bit worried because there is a bit of a trend at the moment about remaking um, old movies, that had a lot of nostalgia. Um, retro cool movies that everybody loved. The Running Man, Arnie. It was, it is one of his sort of up there, like remembered movies for me.
There is like sort of what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Like Easter eggs to Arnie in it
That's
as well,
good.
which is it's hilarious. But I think Glenn Powell, he was starting to see him around in quite a lot of different films and different genres of films as well. And I think he's actually quite a solid actor for in a variety of different things. I think he's quite good. Um, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a laugh. It was your typical sort of like old school action movie that can kind of keep you gripped for a little while and just keep you entertained for
Yeah,
unrealistic moments.
I can't remember the actor's name, but I like the guy that plays the main character,
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell. That's it.
Yes.
Um, so I think I'll probably enjoy it. I don't think there'll be
Um,
any, too much that I won't enjoy.
and another film that I personally actually really enjoyed the back end of last year was the third Avatar film, Fire and Ash. Now, I know, like it's like some people will look at that film and go, "Fuck, why are we still going down this route of it?" But I think I got a little bit more hyped in it when I started watching some of the documentaries that James Cameron started putting out around like the filming process and everything for it, and I think that got me hooked and got me very much more excited, like how the process was of the film. And I think the techniques that they've done for it is what, for me, I think drove it. But I actually
Is
thoroughly
it
enjoyed the third one.
is it better than the last one? Because I really wasn't impressed.
I wouldn't say it's any better or any worse. It's more so like it's almost like one film. It's like a continuation. It's like a part one, part two. So the first three films are classed as like one saga, one act,
Yeah, yeah,
and then 4 and 5 will be another saga, another act for it. So there's probably bits. If you haven't seen it, there's probably parts of that film that you'll probably go, "Oh, I saw that coming," sort of thing, or why,
yeah, yeah.
or it ties up some bits and pieces from the Way of Water and stuff like that. Way of Water was very much a establishing an Avatar film in 2020 with different. Obviously, they had to build all this camera rigging equipment and stuff like that to build the underwater scenes and everything there. It was really fascinating. If you haven't watched a documentary on Disney, it's really fascinating how they make the films. But the third one kind of takes a mixture between first Avatar and Way of Water, combined in between water scenes, but also back on land and elements to it. Um, Again, it's not. It's very much the Avatar film is the third one is very much Avatar. If you enjoyed the first two, you'll enjoy it.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, the first one was iconic. The second one for me was a bit of a letdown. I'm hoping this one is better, but I'll give it a go and we'll see.
well, I definitely walked out the cinema going. I walked out very satisfied with, but then to the point where I was like, if I can get time to go back to the cinema, I want to go see it again.
Okay.
I It's something nostalgia. I think because I watched the first one with that sort of stuff, and I kind of really found the nostalgia for it. But I really enjoyed it. I think the cast, it kind of really, it does kind of continue on that the second film, and I think it makes the second one slightly better
Right.
because it's only so the difference between it in time period is only a week or two in story between the events, the end of the second film to the third film. So if you're watching it as one consolidated story, it's good.
Interesting. One that I did watch that was before I come on to my favorite movie of last year. One that I watched that was quite funny was Playdate.
The Alan
Um,
Richardson one
it is,
with
yeah.
what's his name? Not Kevin Smith. Is it Kevin Smith? No,
Um,
Kevin James.
yes, it was. I expected it to be stupid,
Oh, it was
and daft,
stupid. But
and just over the top, and it was. But it also had a bit of an interesting story that took a bit of a few twists and turns. Um, and again, it's not going to win any awards for movies of the year, but if you want to just sit down and watch a movie that's going to entertain you with some action, give you a few laughs, and you don't have to think too hard, then it really is a perfect film. I didn't expect to see that kind of film from Alan Richardson, because it's not, after seeing him in the likes of Reacher, I wouldn't have expected to see that side of him.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it just works.
he just really plays that sort of role. And he has done roles like that in the past, like in some of the older stuff that he's done in his early career. But yeah, I know what you mean. I watched that just before Christmas, and it's daft, it's silly, and it's incredibly cheesy in places, but you're just like, it still keeps you very hooked and wanting to find out how it all transpires and how it all ends and what's actually going on. So it's quite, yeah, it's not going to win any awards or anything like that. But if you're just looking for something simple, easy to watch, it is a good watch for sure.
Yeah.
But
my favorite movie of the year, which I did go and see at the cinema, and I expected it to be good, or I hoped it was going to be good, and it just smashed my expectations out of the park, was Predator Badlands.
I was wondering if that was going to be it, because I watched that the other day.
Really, really loved that. Yes, it really plays to the masses a little bit more than previous Predator movies. They really are trying to bring this to a more open audience, but the way they've done it really, really works. The mix with the sort of Alien franchise with, the main character Thea and Tess, the two androids, or Tessa, and obviously Wayland as a brand within the story obviously comes from the Alien aspect, and the way they've kind of brought that together. We've seen Alien vs Predator movie before. I've heard rumors they are going to do another Alien vs Predator, which can kind of help to tie this in. But I was really, really impressed. The humor is what surprised me the most, in that I wouldn't expect to see this type of humor in a Predator movie that I enjoy, but it really, really worked, particularly from Thea's side, where obviously she's an android, so she's straight as a die. You wouldn't expect to have an emotion. But, she does seemingly show empathy, which is interesting. But yeah, just the whole dynamic between her and the Predator is just a really, really interesting bond, I felt.
It was. I watched. Again, this is something I wanted to watch in the cinema, but I didn't have a chance to go.
Yeah.
And I watched this I think I watched this last week, and you know what? I didn't expect the level of humor that it brought in. I wasn't expecting when I started watching this. I sat there and I was like, okay, that's just funny. But it was funny in just like, it was, you're taking this sort of underdog predator that is the runt of the clan.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's wanting to prove himself in the predator way.
And even his kind of, he brings in like a bit of humor and a bit of sarcasm at times that you wouldn't expect, but kind of like very muted, very dry. It just worked. I mean, I watched it at the cinema. I watched it again last week at home, and it was just incredible.
It's just,
it was really, really
again,
great.
it was an easy watch, and I actually really love what they've done with it, especially like over the last few years. Now, we were Alien Romulus the other year, and that was really good as well. That was very much a nod to the classic Alien back in the 70s and stuff like that. And then
I found visually as well, this movie blew me away. There's a lot of really stunning visual scenes in this movie. It's quite dark in parts, and the way they've used light and color in huge variations throughout the movie in different scenes. It's just really, really spectacular. If you've not seen it yet, sorry for any spoilers.
It's
We probably will put out a spoiler alert actually at the start of this episode for certain movies, and this will be one of them. So
definitely, I think what I also quite like that we've not really seen before, apart from even in Prey, where the main focal point is the actual predator this time. Like,
yes,
we're not
yes,
following a human
we've
or
not
someone else. The
seen that
predator is
before.
the character.
Exactly, we've not
Like
seen
we
that
have
before.
no, so I like I like the fact that we were following. It was more about the actual predator itself, even though we have the android and their companion. Can't forget about the companion. That thing was just
No,
hilarious.
I mean we've seen androids in alien movies before take a not the top spot, but a sort of reasonable section of the films. But normally, more often than not, the androids take a bit of a
Villain role as
a baddie role. Yeah,
yeah.
They have an ulterior motive that's not good, and one of them does in this.
Which is quite cool because it's like
Which is really good to
it's
see
like the
that
twins.
sort of
It's like yin and
contrast.
yang. Yeah, it's the good, the
Correct.
evil within one character. Realistically, even though it's not like it's the same actress but not the same character. And I actually really love that element. But I also really love the little twist as it got near the end. You're like, oh shit, that makes a lot of sense. And then the ending for me was very good. So to me, the ending definitely feels like there is a potential for a sequel runoff from Badlands.
I would hope so. I'm not quite sure how it's done at the box office. Let's have a look. Actually,
I don't think it did terrible. I just don't think it did anything
it may have
outstanding.
done quite well. Let's have a look. For some reason, I'm not signed into Google. Never mind.
Anyway, well, yeah, I think it made a difference because I think it would depend on. I think Alien as a franchise or Alien Predator, that as a franchise is doing quite well at the moment because we had Romulus, we had Prey, we had Romulus. We've just had Alien Earth, which I'm sure we'll touch on when we start talking about TV series.
It grossed to 184 million
worldwide.
Against 105 million budget. So it's actually the highest grossing Predator film.
Oh, so there's a potential that we could see a second one, or
I'm not surprised actually. And so I'm guessing really the idea to bring it to a wider and newer audience clearly worked.
I think the way that they've done this is even if they don't get a second film, I think it ends in a very good. It has a good ending if it's only going to be the one film, but it leaves it open for potential more.
I don't know. I'd kind of like to see maybe if they do another Alien versus Predator, which is the rumor I'm hearing.
Yeah.
If they bring some of this story into that, then I think
that'd be quite good.
Like because they've already mixed the two franchises here. So to now then bring in more of the Alien franchise at this point with these characters, I think for me could really, really work.
It could be good. But yeah. Film wise, there's a few films that I haven't got around to seeing from last year. Like Sinners apparently did really well. I want to see it, but it's not. I think for me, it hasn't been a film that's kind of. I know people are raved and ranted about it, and I know it's won quite a lot of rewards. I want to see it, but it's not one that I'm like jumping down the bit to go to watch.
Sinners for me is one that I want to watch, but I am waiting for the hype to die down.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at with it as well.
Because I want to view it because it's not my usual type of movie to watch. I want to view it kind of objectively. I have a feeling I'm going to be blown away visually.
From a visual point,
but it's whether the storyline is kind of my thing. We'll see. But yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
I think for me, I want to leave it for a little while and kind of, like you're saying, let it simmer. It is on the list to watch. It's just I just don't know when I think it's a feeling. I think one day I'll go, I want to watch that, and I'm going to watch it.
Same. I think I'm going to have to be in the right mood.
So yeah, I think that's one that I wanted to see last year, but I haven't got around to doing. I think other films, like, I know we mentioned in the last episode with our wrap up for 2025, I said Superman was probably going to be the one that I take away from last year as being my favorite.
I still haven't seen that properly yet.
Yeah, but the reason it's not necessarily the film, but I think it's more than the nostalgia that I managed to take my little one to go see a Superman film. Like, I grew up with Christopher Reeves and I watched them.
Which is something,
exactly. Have my little one be at the right age where he can enjoy a film now, what it is for me.
And you know what?
That's what took it away from me.
That will probably mean, maybe not so much now, but later in life, that may mean a lot to him.
Exactly.
I know I've not spoke to too many people about this, but one film I watched last year at one point was the live action Snow White. A lot of people, there's a lot of controversy around it, and some people loved it, some people hated it. A lot of people will go, "You watch Snow White? That's really not very you." But Snow White was actually the first ever movie that I went to see at the cinema with my mum and my nan. They took me on a Saturday afternoon in Hanley, and it was the first ever film I saw at the cinema. So that kind of like has got a lot of sentimental value, a lot of nostalgia. So I wanted to watch it, and you know what? I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and it even sparked off some creative ideas for a shoot, which I'm actually doing a Snow White shoot later this year.
Is this a Volta?
No. Somebody reached out to me. A lot of you'll see some of the stories that I was sharing on a template about.
Oh yes,
me a fandom, and I'll tell you what I'd shoot. Somebody reached out to me that I've shot with before, and she makes all her own costumes, and she wants to make her own sort of hybrid spin on the live action. So yeah, I'm going to use some of the scenes that inspired me from the live action movie. And yeah, we're gonna do something cool. Don't know when it's going to be yet. Probably it won't be before the summer. Probably summer / autumn. Before we can see that. But yeah, my point is that movies sometimes don't have to be the best movie. It's like a lot of things. It's very subjective. There are different things in movies that will spark off feelings, emotions. People may have an attachment to movies for many, many reasons, and that might make them a good movie. And it wouldn't surprise me if Little Switch in years to come, doesn't become attached to the Superman franchise because you took him along to see that, and you probably mentioned to him that you grew up with the Christopher Reeves versions and Badlands. So
I think it's gonna be cool. Great. I think in some ways with like what James Gunn and David Safran are doing with the DCU or the DC franchise is because they've started from fresh, and now like little ones at that age where he can understand these things. It's like got Supergirl coming out this year, and that's a film I'll probably talk about in a minute. But for me, he's excited to go see that because it's the start of DC in some ways for him, and he's really excited to see that. I'm excited for that as well because it means he's interested. I mean, he's interested in Marvel. He's seen the majority of the Marvel films, and I've taken him to a few in the cinema, but it's not quite the same because this is the start of the DC franchise for it, and because it has that sort of lighter spin. Not saying I don't like the what's his name, the Man of Steel director, Zack Snyder's ones. I actually really like them, but I like that dark and twisted side of things, and I like the way that he shoots sometimes. He's not the best, but I resonate with some of the stuff that he makes from a creative point of view. But anyway, I digress. Back to what I was saying is this is a start of something, and it's because it's lighter. I get a chance to kind of I can kind of bring him into that sort of the DC world a little bit with it all. So that's quite fun for me. I think that's pretty much it for this year. I mean, last year, there's probably loads more we could probably go through, and we'd end up being here for like another 45 minutes. But I think if we just move on to 2026 stuff. that's coming out
Yeah,
this
I mean,
year.
there's so many films that were out last year. Some that I haven't seen, well, a lot that I haven't seen, but there's a lot coming out this year. But
I feel
not.
like this year's got a stronger. I feel like this year's got a stronger
Well, I don't know. There's only
list.
I've been through the list again today, and there's I don't know. There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
So I'm gonna run
6,
that. Yeah, because I'm just on the.
maybe 7 that I'm really hyped for.
So obviously we know this year we've got Avengers, Doomsday, and obviously Marvel are dropping
Yeah,
the
which is right at the end of the year. That's like
right at the end of
December.
the year. But I have no issue with that. It's also dropping the same day as June 3, which I also have
Yeah,
no issue with.
I've
Because
not.
I'm going to see
I,
both of them in the cinema because Dune is a fantastic film franchise. Like what they did with the first two,
Dune 2 is one
incredible.
of the ones from this year last year. Sorry, that I just haven't got around to seeing yet.
It's if you haven't, I recommend it.
Yeah,
It
I
is
love the first, but again,
stunning film.
because it's quite long,
Mm.
I need to be in the right mood for it.
Again, you'll sit there and it's such a good film. It has got some. For me, that was probably one of my favorites in 24. Was I think it was 24. Anyway, doesn't
I don't
matter.
know.
I thoroughly enjoyed the
Now.
second one, but the third one is obviously coming out the same day as Avengers Doomsday. Now, they obviously go, oh, we've got this.
Yeah,
It's like,
24.
it doesn't matter. They're both big enough films in their own right to be able to hold the box office. And that's what kind of left me a little bit kind of like, Christmas used to always be like, there used to be like 2 or 3 films out that were big box office films. Last year,
There was
it wasn't.
nothing really.
It was just Avatar,
Why?
which still, again, I've thoroughly enjoyed. Not saying I wouldn't have gone to see it, but I hadn't had plans to see it. I just kind of got up one day and went, oh, I want to go to the movies. I haven't been for a while. What's playing? I went, oh, Avatar's on. Let's go see that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we've got Doomsday. I really love what they're doing with the promotional and marketing elements
like,
at the moment.
They're not really dropping the hype. They're just literally just occasionally just sneaking the odd little.
But the thing is,
But then again, we're still 12 months away from release, so
yeah,
I like how they're not overhyping it yet.
But also what they've said and come out and said is these aren't clips from the film. These were filmed purposely for these little snippets that were coming out. It's got nothing. It's not part of the film. It is literally just little story bits to build up to the film. So it's like almost like it's the view from like Loki sat on his throne watching what's been going on in the world.
Yeah.
A little bit. So it's obviously keying in some bits and pieces towards Doomsday, but it's its own entity away from the film, which I find is really good. But the Russos have always been very good at misdirection when it comes around to their trailers, because they'll fill scenes just for the trailer, just to misdirect everybody to get people talking about the film. So it's great marketing point of view.
Yeah.
That film's going to do well. I mean, they're bringing the point is like in September, they're bringing out Endgame again in theaters in September for that.
The one that is one of the, I'm really hoping the trailer isn't a representation, and that's everyone was raving about this trailer, and that's the new Street Fighter film coming out in October. I watched the trailer for that, and I initially thought, someone just made this in Chat GPT. It literally looked like someone had just created it with AI. To me, it looks shit.
You're not the first person to say that either. There's been a few characters.
The characters look fantastic, but the trailer just looked off for me. And I hope they haven't just gone like full AI with all the CGI in it.
I'm holding out, Judge. I'm not even going to go into it because I don't know enough about it. I haven't really been paying attention to it.
I've not looked into it, so I don't want to kind of spoil it. But
I kind of look at it and go, I'm a massive fan of the 90s one with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I watched that the other day, actually.
It's so shit, but it's so fucking good as well. I really want to watch that again.
Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie, of all people.
Yes, good old Kylie. But I know that's then nowhere like that was nowhere near like the game, but I still love that film from the 90s. It's a brilliant
Yeah,
film.
same.
But if we're talking about films like that, you've also got Mortal Kombat 2 coming out this
Now
year.
that I am really looking forward to, because I did
It's
like the first one.
I I didn't see the first one in cinema, but I did
No,
go
I
and
didn't.
I watched it afterwards because I wasn't like I don't know if I'm the now about it. But when I sat and watched it, I actually was like, actually, yeah, not
Yeah,
bad.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I mean, I was a fan of the first, again, the 90s cheesy
But
one. But hopefully, um, it looks like it might be a decent movie, but you can never really tell from trailers.
so I'm trying a little bit avoid watching too many trailers now
Yeah,
for things. I
same.
kind of just want to go in with a little bit of a not knowing as much
Yeah.
about films.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously to stick with Marvel, this is the last Marvel film project for the year. Is Spider-Man: Brand New Day?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
also coming out this year. That's coming out in July. Yeah, July.
Yeah, July.
So that's the first Marvel film of the year, and only two this year. And I'm actually kind of really glad that Marvel's decided to drop back the amount of productions and things that they're
Yeah.
releasing.
Yeah, they just got to the point where they were just releasing like one every couple of months, and it was quantity over quality.
So I think
It really suffered for that, in my opinion, anyway.
I think also is like the two Marvel films though are probably going to be the most hyped films for a while since the last time Spider-Man and Avengers came out, because you had Endgame straight into New Day? Or what? Not New Day. New Day's this one. Whatever the last one was, I can never remember.
Yeah.
It's got Day in it. I know that much. But again, they were the last two massive, biggest ones from the franchise. Realistically, obviously got Supergirl coming out in June.
That's the big one for me. I mean, I know I said I haven't seen the latest Superman movie, but just everything I've seen from this so far, from the stills posters to the trailer, yeah, it just looks epic. Millie Alcock, I think, is the perfect pairing for this role.
I think we're going to see a very different Supergirl than we've seen.
I think we are.
Smallville versus Supergirl.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a Supergirl that we've been wanting to see for many, many years. Possibly one that we wanted to see that we never have. I think this is going to be a really different direction.
I think we'll be definitely very playing much on the mental elements of this character as well. The fact that she basically watched her whole planet die, and she's the last.
Yeah, the young, sassy, pissed off, angry teenager, really.
There's going to be so many people that can relate to that. Like you'll sit there as a dog, fuck, I relate to that from my teens and stuff like that. So that's a good one. I'm looking forward to as well.
And we're planning a shoot around that as well.
We have bullied someone into it. I say bullied. It's not really, didn't take much convincing. It took me to say one.
She is fully on board with that now, though.
Oh yeah,
she is fully on board with it.
I just got a message back going, what are you two planning? Like, with no details at all. I just sent her a picture of Supergirl.
Yeah. And I think we both messaged her actually without telling each other that we were doing it. And then she was just like, what are you two planning? And I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
She's fully on board, and this cosplayer will be perfect for the Millie Alcock version as well, I feel. And we're planning, the plans at the moment are to coincide the shoot and the release of the edited images in line with the release of the movie. So,
just before the film.
Just before the film is what we're aiming for.
Will embody this character. Like, this isn't
absolutely
this cosplayer. This isn't like her usual cosplay. She's literally doing this one for us to do this shoot.
Like, this is very different for her.
This is so outside of what she does normally, and she's down for it. Like, she saw what said very little to her about it, and she's then, it's you two. Yeah, fine, I'll do it. It's like brilliant. There's another film that there's another film I'm really excited for, and I saw the trailer when I went to see Avatar, and it's Odyssey by Christopher Nolan.
Yes, how did I miss that? didn't even pop up in my list, actually.
And do you know what? The trailer gave fuck all away. There's
Really?
been two. There's been a teaser trailer, and then there's been like a full.
When's that coming out?
It says July as well, so it'll be out before Supergirl. I think it's saying it's scheduled for the 17th of July this year. Odyssey.
It was in my list. I didn't see it. How did I miss that?
It is a film that it's been on my radar for a while. But I like that sort of time period piece and history in life. Anyway, I think it's very much around like
zero
Troy.
idea what this movie's about. But I just know it's going to be good. So
yeah,
I'm just going to go and watch it. I'll have no idea what I'm going to watch, but I'll go and watch it anyway.
You know what? It's one film I've said as soon as I heard about it being announced, I said I need to see this in the cinema. I'm not, from a visual perspective, from a creative perspective, it's going to look stunning. And even from the shots I've seen and the promotion, like the images and stuff, I'm like, wow, this looks cinematic. Let's just drop that word in there now.
Well, I think that's going to be the buzzword of the day.
It's a buzzword for 2026 and buzzword for 2025 as well. But it's got a phenomenal cast. It's got Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway. It's got John Bernthal. It's fucking endless.
Like, one that did pop up, another one that popped up in the list. Where was it? It's not showing up now. Where is it? It's June, that's why. Masters of the Universe. I didn't even know they were doing this, but it's got some big names. Yeah. I was scrolling through movies coming out this year and it popped up. I mean, we've got some big names. We've got Marina Baccarin, which we know from Deadpool. Idris Elba.
Wow.
Oh, fucking hell, it's got Jared Leto in it.
Yeah, but if you've got...
That'll either make or break it. Oh, he is playing Skeletor. He kind of looks like Skeletor, to be fair. Without
he's going to turn up.
Without any CGI or makeup. You got Nicholas Galitzine. I don't know if I know that guy. He's playing He-Man.
I think I vaguely remember this because I think Troy was mentioning this a while back.
So yeah, that's definitely I didn't know they were doing it, basically.
What else we got here?
It's got some big names.
So we're also going to be closing up the Mandalorian story as well, I believe, because you've got the Star Wars Mandalorian and Grogu film coming out in May. It's got Sigourney Weaver in it as well, weirdly enough. It's her debut in Star Wars.
Just the fact as they're calling it Mandalorian and Grogu, they're just playing to the masses, aren't they? Again.
Well, apparently Jon Favreau, who plays Happy from Iron Man, who's also the creator of the Mandalorian, along with Dave Filoni. He's apparently got the script for Mandalorian season 4 on his desk, and he's still trying to push to get another Mandalorian series going.
You see, I think I would have rather had that than this movie, but I hope to be proven wrong.
I kind of hope they do a season 4, but we kind of drift away from Din Djarin as the Mandalorian because at the end of season 3, spoilers if you haven't seen it, and why the fuck not? It's been a few years now.
It's been a while.
The Mandalorian, like the series, doesn't need to necessarily focus around Din Djarin. It's the Mandalorian, and we know that they've reclaimed Mandalorian, blah blah blah, all this sort of stuff. The story can evolve around another character. Like for me, it'd be Bo-Katan, and my personal favorite because she's my favorite Mandalorian. And we've seen her in the franchise already, and blah blah blah. So for me, like the Mandalorian is never really about Din. It was always about the Mandalorians as a race within Star Wars element. Anyway, so this kind of ties up nicely the Mandalorian Grogu or Din Djarin and Grogu story, but it makes sense because obviously Pedro Pascal's busy with loads of other things, so it makes sense that he puts this now to bed to kind of go over and do some other things. Even though he's not actually the one that does the acting, he's mostly the voiceover. Unless he's going to go with a helmet off, then they'll have him on set. But the man's busy. He's got, he's in the Marvel stuff. Was doing The Last of Us. Now he's not. Spoilers again. If you haven't known that, then where have you been? Yeah, so that's another one. Again, I don't know if I'm hyped. I don't know if it deserves a film. I feel like it could have been a series. But my biggest issue I have with the Mandalorian series, each episode is too short. They need to be longer episodes or a longer series. Like for 20 minutes, half hour, to me, that's not long enough for that type of
No,
television.
no.
That's just my personal, my
Yeah.
biggest hate about Mandalorian. I love it, but also hate the fact that it's like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
They're doing another Super Mario movie.
yeah, so Mario Galaxy World.
Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, I don't know. The first one was all right.
First one was all right. It's great to take your kids to. So there's loads of other films here coming up. It's like you've got Shang-Chi, but again, they've been rumored about Shang-Chi 2 for ages. Cat in the Hat, if you really want the Cat in the Hat. I Am Legend 2, but again, that's been floated around for years as well, that's coming, and every year that gets said that it's coming and it's not. Apparently there's American Pie 5. Please no. I love the original.
Just leave it now.
We don't need another one.
Just every one they do now just dilutes the franchise even more.
Again, you got Blade with meant to be with Marsha Ali.
I thought that got canned, like
no,
indefinitely canned.
It's been going through a load of lists of different directors and whatnot.
I mean, it's been like rebooted and canned like more times than I've had glasses of rum, and there've been quite a few of those.
There's been a few of those, but I personally really want to see Mahershala Ali in that film. I want to see him play Blade because I think he will do that character so well. And yeah. I love Wesley Snipes' Blade. I really want to see Blade come back. I really do.
I'd like to see it come back now. They're doing another Hunger Games film.
So there's a Hunger Games film coming out at the end of this year. It's the Songbirds, and I'm going to get executed by my friends because they're Hunger Games avids for
Sunrise on the Reaping.
Reaping. There we go. Thank you very much. I'm going to get killed by my laugh as well for that. So that one comes out in November. Which is actually
that's another one though. Like, should they not have killed this franchise off by now?
I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed the original franchise, the first 3 films. You know, action like Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay. Loved them. I also like the last one that they did, which went back to focus around Snow in his early days about the games. I thought it was really quite good.
Not seen it.
It is good. It is a very different take. It's centered around Snow and how he becomes who he is when we see him in the Hunger Games. I know nothing about this next book.
No, I don't. I didn't even know they were doing one until I was going through the list today.
So originally, when the last film came out, she hadn't even written the book for this one, as far as I'm aware, or she was in the process of writing it. And the director got asked, "Are you going to do another Hunger Games film?" He said he'll only do another one if Suzanne Collins, does the book. And then all of a sudden the book gets announced.
Last time that happened, it didn't end well.
No, but the director will only do it if she's writing the book. She's very heavily involved in the project as well. And there is rumors that you have, it is a different time period. It's around one of the Court of Quells. I can't remember which one. It's where it's Hamish's games. So we see Hamish's, what's his, Woody Harrelson's character in the Woody Harrelson in the original. It's his character, but his game. So it's the younger version of him. But apparently, the rumors are there's Jennifer Lawrence and the guy that plays Peter is coming back for a cameo in this one, and I reckon it'd be probably like Hamish telling them a story or something.
Interesting.
So I'm interested for it because I like the Hunger Games franchise. I did go and see the Hunger Games on stage performance when we were in London for MC on the weekend. I went to the opening week.
I know quite a few people that went actually.
So it's changed a little bit since I went because I went to the opening week, and then obviously they tailor it and change it as the performance goes on and put things in, take things out depending on how well it's received at the time. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was great to see something like that in that sort of scale. It was really quite cool. But yeah, I loved it. What else we got?
They're doing a new Silent Hill film.
Yes, I saw that.
I mean, I don't
also
know.
Apparently, a new Resident Evil as well.
not another Resident Evil. I mean, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the Resident Evil films. They got worse as they went on in
I still
regards
like them.
to production quality.
I
One
still
and
like them all
two were
though.
the best, but
Yes, 100%.
I still do watch them all.
Yeah, I do as well.
Even up to now. I really hope they're going to give us a Silent Hill film that we deserve, both with story and visuals, because I'd like to see that. But we'll see. I don't know much about it.
Apparently, there's a rumor of a
who's
Mad
gonna
Max The
find it?
Wasteland coming.
Interesting.
So it's saying here, a sequel to the film Mad Max Fury Road, directed by George Miller and starring Tom Hardy. Now, how much truth there is to that, don't know.
Interesting.
I'm just flicking through IMDb here and I'm just seeing what sort of jumps out at me. There was another one that was coming out that I did. So there's a new Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa film coming out. It's coming out on Amazon and it's coming out in the next few weeks, I believe. That looks freaking hilarious. I can't remember what it's called. I've seen a few of the trailers pop up on social media and it just looks so daft, stupid, and silly. But the combination of Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa looks great.
Let's have a look. When's it coming out?
No idea. I think it's in the next few weeks.
Upcoming. I know there's one that's just come out, which is called Trap House, but that's end of last year. There's one called Wrecking Crew.
Might be that one. Let's have a look.
Yes,
the Wrecking Crew.
Wrecking Crew, yeah.
So that looks hilariously
That's
daft,
a very
silly.
different. Oh, it's a prime film. That's a very different look for Bautista as well, like rocking the salt and pepper beard there.
Yeah, he's also dropped a lot of muscle off as well.
He has. He really has.
But I think that's from a health perspective, and the fact that he's also, he's getting older as well.
Well, he's probably done it for the role as well. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh no, I know he's done something for himself to be able to. He's shed the pounds off because he felt like he needed to do something else. But anyway, that looks really quite cool. That's coming out soon. I know very little about it. I just saw a trailer for it. So it looks like it's coming out on Prime on the 28th of Jan, so this month. But that looks very cool.
I've also heard rumors. I don't know when it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be this year. But I've heard rumors. These rumors ignite every few years.
Yeah.
That they are working on a new Necromancer movie.
Okay.
So, for anyone that's familiar with the books, they are the embodiment of Cyberpunk, essentially. So yeah, I would, if that happens, that would be interesting. But there's nothing really much out there. I can't imagine us seeing it this year. If anything, I can imagine it would likely be next year or beyond. I've also heard rumors of a follow-up to Alien Romulus.
Yeah, I've heard this. I've heard the rumors for that, and I kind of really hope
that's not showing in any list for this year.
No, I don't think it'll be this year. I think if anything, it'll be 27 or 28. I reckon, and I kind of hope it follows the same girl again with her android, because that was a very different take on the androids as well, what I really liked. So I think we've kind of covered films here.
I think we should move
25 and 26.
Because there's
one other film. Here's a film. It's not a new film. I'm well happy it's back. Dogma. It was a film created by Kevin Smith, and it has Matt Damon as the original Loki. And Matt Damon as also an angel. It's basically want to go back to heaven. They're basically angels that have been cast out from heaven, lived on Earth for so long, and basically get told that they can go back to, if they do something, they can go back to heaven. Anyway, it's a 90s film. It's directed by Kevin Smith, who made Jay, Silent Bob, Strike Back, stuff like that. It's very much of a cult classic. This film has been sat on a shelf for God knows how many years now.
Wow,
It was
really?
released. The rights came available a few years ago that Kevin Smith finally then was able to buy the rights back. It was part of the Harvey Weinstein's collection, and he owned the rights that he refused to get rid of it. So
Right.
essentially, the rights for it, time had lapsed and passed, and then Kevin was able to buy it. It was one of his first major films that he produced and directed, written. But it's a cult classic sort of film. It
Yeah.
is. Don't get me wrong, to this sort of day and age, it's probably very, it's about religion in that sense. So probably in this day and age, you'll probably find someone that's trying to cancel it. But again, for me, I love this film. This film
it's a good
is
film.
like one of them.
Good film. When I watched, they also released it in the last year. Another 90s film, the 30th anniversary version of Hackers from
Okay, yeah.
1995 with Johnny Lee Miller and Angelina Jolie and others. I mean, that was one of my favorite films of all time, particularly the sort of 90s era. But yeah, they did a 30th anniversary like 4K edition. I got the steelbook version from Amazon, and I watched that because I bought a new TV just before Christmas. Bought a new OLED TV, so I've been like making the most of that and watching, loads of films that I love, plus loads of new stuff. Oh God, I feel really bummed up with a cold tonight. Somebody's giving me germs. But yeah, for anyone that knows Hackers, it's well worth getting the 30th anniversary 4K version. And for anyone that's never watched Hackers, you're really missing out. You should go and watch it. It's I've always wanted to do a Hackers based photo shoot, but the franchise is that old now that like most cosplayers probably don't even know it exists. Never mind want to cosplay from it.
After.
But yeah, exactly. Most like 1995, most cosplayers probably weren't even a thought. So for any cosplayers out there that do know of it, if you want to do a Hackers cosplay shoot, hit me up. Anyway,
right.
Moving on to TV shows, because there was a lot out last year. We talked about a lot in our episode in September, but there's some, there's probably two. I don't know if we talked about Wednesday in season 2, but I think it had just started when we did our last nerdy episode. But
I think we hadn't watched any of it at that point.
There's two big ones really that dropped at the end of 2025, and that's obviously Stranger Things season 5, which brought the franchise to a close, and Fallout season 2, which for me sees the franchise really alive and kicking. So we'll start with Stranger Things.
I think we're gonna have a lot of people that are interested in the Stranger Things debating where we sit on this line of how it ended.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of.
Get into this again. I'm going to put this out here. Spoiler for Stranger Things. If you haven't seen this or you haven't had it spoiled because you're not on social media or whatever like that, and you don't know what's going on in the world, we're now going to be talking spoilers for Stranger Things season 5. Okay.
I mean, you've had plenty of time, I will say. Well, you've had a few weeks, but there we go.
16 days.
Yeah, that's enough for most people. Now, obviously, they did the phased sort of drop. So, like, was it like 4 episodes, and then
4, 3, and it's 4, 3, and 1.
4, 3, and 1. That's right. Which I quite liked because it really kept the hype and it stopped people binging it and spoiling it all in one go.
Okay,
which I really liked. I loved how they did the last episode as a separate entity. So it just allowed people to catch up before it was spoiled.
So without any details, what out of the 3 phases, which was your favorite phase? Like what, like, watching them, where did you feel like it was like, that's actually really got me?
I don't know, because I kind of feel that it was like a snowball. It kind of just gathered pace. And it wasn't like peaks and troughs like some TV shows. Each episode ramped it up. to the next level and kept me wanting more, which is what I really, really liked the most about it. You know, some people will say that in some episodes there was too much padding and too much filling. I actually don't think there was. I think it fleshed out the stories and gave us the information that we needed to finally bring this show to a close.
I think for me, the first phase was my favorite, but I think that's just because it really got me back into the world of it all, and it got me really hyped for the next bit, and it really established around seeing all the characters and that again, building up to something. I think the first phase for me was my favorite.
Yeah.
But that also then enticed me to then go back and watch from season 1 because I was like, oh shit,
I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to. Yeah.
Well, season 4, I'm halfway through season 4 now, so I'll be about season 5 and I'll probably change my opinion.
You're really smashing that.
Yeah, well, Christmas.
So now let's come on to the more controversial episode of the season, which was the close. Now I've seen a lot of controversy. Well, not controversy, but differing opinions.
Unhappy people with some mixed views.
Yeah, so like some people out there feel that it was just padded out too much. Some storylines were fleshed out too much, and it sort of continued where it really didn't need to. I'm going to respectfully disagree with that. I really, really liked the last episode.
I really liked how they ended it, personally.
Like, when it got to, like, almost, like, 40... Because how long was the last episode? It's really long, wasn't it?
It was around about 2 hours. I think we got a lot of the major story bits within the first hour.
Yeah, most of the story or the completion to
the events,
the key elements were completed in the first 45, 50 minutes. And initially I could see where it was going, and I was like, no, that can't be it. There's still over an hour left.
And
what's going to happen? And then it kind of started to, like, it didn't just like stop and then start again. It kind of wound down a little bit, and then again, spoilers, it kind of showed you people's lives after. Now, some people don't think that was needed, but again, I'm going to respectfully disagree, because all too often now I'll watch a film or I'll watch a TV show and it's sort of like heavy on action and drama and suspense, and it builds up to this big crescendo where they need to defeat someone or something, and they do, and they win,
and then roll credits,
and it's like, yay, everyone's happy now, we party, and the end credits. It never shows you people's lives after, the effect,
also emotions,
mental toll, the emotion, exactly. And it gave us a little bit of a snippet and an insight into that, which I really, really loved.
I think going off of this as well with the emotions and stuff like that, and I understand how people feel, but I think what I liked about what the Duffers did here was it gave you an option to believe one thing or believe another.
Yes.
And I think that plays really nicely because it allows, so if you're in the camp that you believe one, ending 1 or ending 2, you're allowed to believe it, and you feel happy no matter which way because there's no right or wrong.
Well, it didn't even really give you 2 endings as such. It just gave you a little bit of an insight via a fictional story during a D&D game that there might be an alternative ending. Now, we saw a little snippet of that in one of the scenes at the inaugural ceremony for the prom or whatever it was, not the
graduation.
The graduation. That's right. Where we saw one of the characters kind of hear something that sounded a bit strange. He was looking at the speakers, looking around, thinking something isn't quite right here. And there was a little bit of an inkling there that something maybe wasn't as we originally saw it. and then obviously you get the big conversation during the D&D game, and that whole thing then sparked off a massive conspiracy theory online that wasn't the last episode, and there was going to be another episode drop, and there was going to be an alternative ending where, like, you know, there was like the massive conspiracy theory. Like,
it was
it
fascinating
was
to listen. It was
fucking
really
huge.
fascinating.
Yeah, it was huge watching it all unfold online. That people thought that this episode was going to drop on a certain date, and it was
Certain
all
time,
linked
certain
that
day, yeah.
the ending wasn't actually the ending, and that them defeating Vecna was all just a dream that was made up by Vecna, and that he'd taken control of them. It was absolutely fascinating to watch.
It's understandable because even I
Yeah,
kind of sat there and I thought, but that's where the creative mind then will go with it. But I think I like how they've done it because you know, I'm very much in the camp that I believe that I spoilers here, but 11 passed. She didn't come back with them. She went with the wormhole and she went off. That's what I believe. But I do like the warp feeling in there that there is a potential that actually maybe the alternative way was she is living in this village in a faraway land
why not?
on Earth doing it. And I like that speculation between which one's right and wrong because it gives you that idea and that concept of going, did she get the happy ending or did she sacrifice herself for her friends? Knowing that no matter
Exactly.
what she did, if she had come back, the government's always going to be pursuing her. Or has she faked her death and she's moved on somewhere else? Now, I liked what they did. I love the conspiracies that were going around on
Yeah,
social
yeah, it
media
was
for ages.
insane.
So imaginative, and it was so great to see that sort of stuff. But I do believe the way that they ended it was really nice because we never, like you were saying at the start of this little conversation about Stranger Things, was we never get to the point where we see a character, we watch a series for such a long time and we invest so much time and love into these characters, but we never see after, like, big battle, boom, credits, done.
Exactly,
We never
exactly.
see the aftermath of how the emotions or the feelings or how life happens after all that. And that's really nice to see. There's only one other show that I've known of in the last couple of years that's done something similar now,
Yeah,
SEAL Team.
yeah,
And I love how
exactly.
SEAL Team
Yeah, yeah,
as an ending, because there was rumors that people were going, nah, SEAL Team's coming back. They've done it dirty. And I was like,
yeah.
no, they didn't.
No,
They ended it how they wanted and they ended it
they ended it on
well.
their terms. It was meant to end at a certain point, and the writers got to write a proper ending, which is what I like.
I
There's just
love that about
too
Stranger
many.
Things as well.
Yeah, there's too many shows that they they get halfway through a season and are like, right, this is the last one, but it's too late at that point
Mm.
to write a proper ending, and it ends open, and that's sad.
It is. I just don't feel like you get a justice for the characters then that
No, totally.
you love and you really kind of get this bond and connection with. So I think I get why people are upset with the ending. They wanted a different outcome, and I get it. But I also love the fact that they took the risk to go
The thing is,
this way.
everybody likes an ending where, well, most people like an ending where everyone wins, everyone comes home, blah blah blah. But I like the more sort of
Realistic
reality
turn.
aspect
Yeah.
that perhaps that doesn't happen.
Mm.
Anyway, enough Stranger
Stranger
Things.
Things.
The next big one, Fallout Season 2.
Let's not go to the latest episodes. I don't think I've watched the latest one. I've seen
No,
the
I'm
one that we
not.
talked about
I'm
last.
just going to sort of generalize really because it's still in the throes of going through, and I
This
never
season's
played
been
the
strong.
I've never played the games,
Me neither.
but I absolutely loved season 1. I'm a massive Alapernel fan anyway, um, from things like Sweet Pea, Arcane,
Yellow
obviously,
Jacket, is it?
Fallout. Say again.
Yellow Jacket, I think she's also
Yeah,
in.
yeah. I've not seen that yet. I do want
I
to.
haven't. I've heard good things about it though.
And she's just fantastic. She's very versatile, and she plays Lucy in Fallout just so well. And I was really hyped for season 2. I was hoping it would live up to the hype, and
He's
damn,
done better than
it
that.
really has.
It's,
The the latest episode is fantastic. The one before that
we're talking about
was
with Elvis.
probably the best one I've seen. The episode 4 was it?
Episode 4 is it the one that got the multiple Elvises?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that was
The
the last one I
multiple
saw, and
Elvis
I was.
scene is probably the best scene I've seen in Fallout. It was just like next
that was
level.
brilliant. That was absolutely
Next
brilliant.
level.
Like, it was almost Jinx. I know obviously she plays Jinx in Arcane, but it was very much like Jinx had kind of appeared in that character for that second.
You can kind of see in every episode where she's losing her innocence. You can see right from episode 1, really.
Yeah.
That although she's innocent, she is far from innocent. But she's got that naivety. And you can see her losing that naivety in every single episode with every single adventure. And I think now she's really starting to realize what it takes to survive in this world.
Yeah.
And she's coming to terms with the fact that she's prepared to do it.
I think her and the girl, I can never remember his name as an actor, but his story is brilliant. He's a phenomenal actor anyway.
He really is. He really is.
Brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen him in Sons of Anarchy?
I've not watched much of Sons of Anarchy, but
he basically plays a transvestite in Sons of Anarchy, and
Walton Goggins, that's the one.
Walter, that's it. But anyway, back to this. He was in Sons of Anarchy. He's brilliant in that as well. That's a very brutal series. If you've never seen it, definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
But no, I think his story from the jumping back from the past to the future, back to the past and present within Fallout, is some of the best stuff because it's like really painting the picture of what's really evolved over time.
This is what I'm liking about season 2 is that the flashbacks are longer. Now,
yes,
I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with flashbacks in movies and TV shows. But in this one, I think it's really, really necessary to paint a picture of the story. And the way that they are doing it fits really, really well with the whole dynamic of the show.
Especially the story of Maximus as well in that last episode, that same
absolutely.
Elvis episode. Because we don't know much about Maximus, but then he's this dark horse that's kind of coming out of nowhere every now and then. And really, like the moral, you can see the moral, like he wants to be good to the Brotherhood, but then the morals that they're instilled with him. But by
he's another character that's got that sort of naivety. But he wants to, and you can see that in a battle mentally with himself, where he wants to progress in life and move up the ladder and the chain of command, but also he wants to be the good person. I think deep down he is a good person.
He is, yeah. Like
he just makes some really bad fucking decisions.
Like the episode before that, where he's very much like, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh shit." Oh my god.
That's very much it. He'll do something, and it's like very much like the wrong thing for the right reasons, and then it will literally just be the oh shit.
It's like I'll deal with the consequences later. I'll do this now, and I'll work this shit out later
because it's the right thing to do. I really shouldn't, but fuck it, I'm going to do it because otherwise this is going to happen. Because he's constantly wrestling with his conscience. And yeah, he's another great character. He really is.
And I feel like the actor's done so much better in season 2. He's like he's really found his pace with the character as well.
Totally.
Like the first series, he was a little bit rigid, a bit stiff.
Yeah.
Now in season 2, he's really sort of loosened up and really kind of like he's getting involved in it, and he's embodying it more. And I kind of found him a little bit annoying in season 1, but I think that's the whole point of it. But again, I love the flashbacks for him as well, like telling his little his little bit of story of things as well, and where he's come from. And I really enjoy that. It's really good.
Definitely.
I'm thoroughly enjoying Fallout this season, and I'm looking forward to season 3 when that comes around as well. But that won't obviously.
Well, I mean, they announced that at the same time as season 2, didn't they? They were that confident.
That's the thing with Amazon. Like Amazon has been hitting. Like if they've got a good solid IP, they are really investing in it.
Yeah,
and they're really pushing it. It's like you look at Reacher. We're in season 4?
Yeah.
Better go in season 4.
Yeah.
They've already announced season 5.
Yeah, they've not announced date of season 4 yet, and they've already announced there's going to be a season 5.
They've already announced that season 5 is going to happen, and then you've obviously got the spin-off of Reacher as well, which I think is going to do very well. But again, you've also got the Boys ending this year as well.
We haven't finished what's out yet. Never mind what's coming soon. But yeah, it's all like linked. There's just so much cool stuff. One series that I started watching that I knew nothing about, and I came across it on Prime, I think, called Revival, and it's got I'm going to absolutely murder her name here, Melanie Scrofano, who's the main character, Romy Welton, Anna McQueen. Yeah, there's Steve Ogg as well, GTA. Played Trevor in GTA.
He's a very good
phenomenal actor. It's got some really good names in, and I knew nothing about this before I started watching it. Spoiler alert again for anyone that, hasn't seen Revival. This is going to spoil the general plot, but essentially it's based in Wisconsin, and on this just one miraculous day, one day, all the dead come back to life. That's people that died that day. That's people that died yesterday. That's people that were in the cemetery. All the dead come back to life in that town, which is just fucking bonkers. And it tells the story of this police officer called Dana, who's played by Melanie Scrofano, yeah, something like that. Her father runs he's like the police chief, if you like, in the town. Then there's her sister, Martha, who's played by Romy Welton, who's a sort of younger sister, suffered all her life with this like brittle bones disease, who you later find out actually died on that night that everyone comes back to life. So she finds out during the kind of the story that she'd actually died. It's fucked up. Essentially, she thinks that she just went to bed and she woke up the next morning. In actual fact, she didn't. She actually died that night. She was drowned in a river and then kind of woke up. It kind of like amazing like chain of events. Yeah, and it's a very, very fucking freaky film. It comes from I didn't realize it comes from a comic book series, which I didn't know until I'd been talking about it with a friend of mine, Shalimar. And it's just an incredible show. Really, really well done. Has a lot of depth. The storyline's fantastic. The acting is great. Visually, it's stunning. For anyone that hasn't seen it, I've kind of just spoiled the plot. But there's a lot more that goes on. So much more. And I'm not going to spoil any more for anyone that hasn't seen it. For me, as much as I'm loving Fallout and I love Stranger Things, that is my series of the year.
Really?
It's something that I knew nothing about. I came across it. I was looking for something new to watch. And I was like, yeah, I like the look of the screen art for that, the cover art. Fuck it. Watch the first episode. I've got nothing to do. I'm going to watch it. And I was hooked from the first episode. It was a slow burner, but there was enough in there that had me thinking, what the fuck is going to happen next? And it was just fantastic. I really can't fault it.
I'm trying to think what my fucking series of the year is. I don't think I have one, to be honest. On the top of my head, I can't remember one.
As much as I would have loved to say Fallout, it's still going on in 2026, so I'm not going to. Stranger Things was fantastic, but Revival was just next level for me.
As much as Stranger Things is fantastic, I still wouldn't put it as my season of the year.
No, I think because it's been going on for so long.
It was a nice. I think it was a good ending, and it was a good way of ending it. I'm happy with how they ended it. It's very.
I don't think it was the best season. Sorry, It's not season 5 wasn't the best season, but
season 4 I think might be slightly better, or even
I think so. 3 or 4.
Season 4 are pretty good, but anyway, we've already talked about Stranger Things. What else was good last year that I'm trying to think of?
MobLand was good last year, but was that last year?
Say MobLand was probably. I think MobLand. No, it was last year. MobLand was probably one of my favorite seasons last year.
Yeah,
it was a Guy Ritchie series.
MobLand would have been if I'd not watched Revival, but I think Revival was such a surprise for me.
Yeah,
but
get that.
But MobLand was absolutely fucking fantastic.
I think the season for me for 24 would have been The Gentleman.
I've not seen that.
Watch it on Netflix.
Take a
Gentleman.
look.
It's obviously based off the film, but it's not a continuation of the film. It's a brand. It's the same as The Gentleman, the film. It's also directed by Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie did both the series and the film. So season 2, I think, of The Gentleman comes out this year on Netflix, and also MobLand season 2 is either this year or next year.
Yeah, they've not released a date yet. They've said maybe 26, maybe 27.
But they have started filming because Tom Hardy's been set in his underwear.
Correct.
Which then also means the ending of MobLand means that Tom Hardy's still alive.
Yes, which is a good thing, unless they're filming.
But it's a good thing because I think he kind of carries the show.
Unless they're doing it as a flashback thing or a prequel, or we don't know.
Again, I think that ending with Tom Hardy was just brilliant. It was just like, yeah. But I think, so I think this year, or last year, sorry, 2025 for me, the season would have been MobLand. It took me by surprise. It took me a while to watch it, but I think I wanted to wait.
MobLand was another one for me that I didn't really know much about, and I came across it when I was scrolling.
I just knew it had a solid cast.
I saw it had Pierce Brosnan and Tom Hardy.
Helen Mirren.
And Helen Mirren, but within a very short space of time. I was like, fuck, that's Paddy Considine. And I've talked about Paddy before on this show. You know, Paddy is, I love that dude. He's from literally down the road from me. I went to college with him. You know, I know the guy. I've shot his band Riding the Low many times. I've seen that guy go from like an aspiring film buff to becoming like an absolutely incredible fucking actor. He was in House of the Dragon.
Brilliant in that as well.
You know, he was in the Bourne films, Dead Man's Shoes. He's been in so many things, but he's really starting to find his groove now. And his role in MobLand just had so much depth, and particularly towards the end, when we really started to see that character grow, the depth and emotion was just next level. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where they take his character in season 2.
Do you know what? I think one of the things I remember about MobLand, which I really loved, was actually the credits. Every time, the main, not the end credits, but the main, main start credits. It was the one show I don't press skip on the intro credits.
No,
every single time. And then it wasn't only until the end of the series that I started looking at the intro credits and going, I was like, hang on a second. There have been hints all the way from episode 1 all the way to the end of what's happening throughout the story.
It's the same song, but it's a little different. It's a slightly different intro every single time.
Every single time. And they put little bits and pieces into it every time. And you look at it and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. It's just the way they unveiled the twists and turns through each episode. There's like, normally I can spot what's happening, what's going to happen. There was stuff in the first few episodes, and later on I was like, oh fuck. You know, you just don't see it coming.
That's Guy Ritchie though for you. Like, he is a phenomenal director, phenomenal writer.
And it was a similar way for me with Revival as well. A lot of twists and turns that I just didn't see coming. So yeah, I think probably a joint first actually for last year, Revival and MobLand for my favorite show for last year.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously there was Wednesday season 2.
I didn't
rate it as much as season 1. No.
I prefer season 1. Season 1 was better. Season 2, it was good. I like how we're kind of pushing to season 3, and there's an indication of where we're going with season 3.
I felt season 2 was overhyped. There was loads
Yes.
of promotion and marketing hype, and I felt that was too much. It was the marketing hype was better than the show.
I kind of feel like I'm kind of getting into the point. Like, I do this with games now as well. We'll probably talk about games shortly, which will be a smaller segment. But I kind of am trying to avoid trailers a little bit and marketing for it, because I kind of want to go in a bit more blind in things.
Yeah, I know what you
which
mean.
kind of really becomes hard when we're starting to talk about nerdy episodes on the podcast, or we're trying to talk about things on social media about this. In the platforms that we are, a lot of us who are watching this, and even for us, it's like sometimes we have to look at these things to be able to kind of talk about them. But part of me, for my actual everyday life, I kind of get to the point now. I'm like, I don't want to watch the trailer, and it's not like the trailer's bad or anything. It's more that I want to experience it fresh, and I want to kind of just go back to a little less
spoilers can sometimes ruin some of the twists and turns. They can give you too much information.
But I think that's enough.
And for me, if a trailer or a spoiler has got to reveal that, then it's not as good as it's making out to be.
It's not. If you've got to drive someone with the best bits of the show for it, then it's not going to do well, in my opinion. I think that wraps 2025 up to a point, doesn't it?
Well, no, it doesn't. We've got some more, actually. We've got some more. So, one of the ones that surprised me, because I didn't think I was going to like it and I didn't want to, was the latest season of The Witcher. We've not talked about that.
How can I forget The Witcher?
How can you forget Witcher?
I really loved it.
With the departure of Cavill, I didn't think I was going to like it. And I thought I would. Initially, I was like, no, not going to watch it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a go. And I am
it's not Liam's Hemsworth's fault for anything that's happened.
I am so fucking glad I did, because within the first 10 minutes, as much as I hate to say it, I barely knew that Cavill had gone.
Thing is, though, I said this to you because I think I watched Witcher before you did, and I said, "Yeah, are you planning on watching Witcher?" You're like, I don't know. I went, watch it.
Yeah,
I swear to God, watch it. It is better than you think.
Part of it was because there was less focus on Geralt in this episode. It was more about some of the other characters, but even when it was, he embodied that character as much as he could.
So I talked to a couple of friends about this subject, actually, and they're a few Polish friends of ours. And actually, they turned around and said, Liam Hemsworth is actually closer to the original concept idea of Geralt of Rivia.
You know what?
The original story
if they would have cast Hemsworth from the start, I think it would have been a better show.
Yes and no.
I've loved it from the start.
Don't get me wrong. I think Henry Cavill did very well and I think he brought the passion, but maybe too much passion into it.
Yeah,
I think that the issue we have with Cavill and the show was too much of a difference of opinion of how the show should be going.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying neither of them right or wrong because we're not there. We can't differentiate between them.
And you know what? I've not really played the games. I've never finished Witcher 3. I got part way through it.
I find it very hard to play.
And I've not played any of the other Witcher games, so I find it very hard to play. I don't mind challenging games, don't get me wrong, but The Witcher 3, I just really struggled to get my head around some.
I really wanted to. I think I played a good 5 hours of that game. I was struggling. It wasn't necessarily the story that was struggling. It was just it was just a lot of mechanics to remember different things.
Yeah,
and
totally.
That's not on the game. That's on me. That's purely my
same
ability as an old man now not to be able to do that.
Yeah, cognitive functions and all that. Getting old. Another series that I started watching, I haven't finished it yet. I think they are doing a second season.
Hang on, before we jump on to the next one, I want to carry on with The Witcher slightly.
Sorry, go on.
One thing I wanted to say with The Witcher for season 3? 4. 4. My strengths and weaknesses for this series. So, Geralt and her name? Witch. Yennefer. Sorry.
Yennefer, yeah.
They were the strongest parts of the show. Series story for me was the one where I was like,
yeah, there was a lot of focus on the series story, but I think the series story was a little bit weak.
I thought it was weak, and it was obviously with the rats, and obviously they did bring out the rats film or special for it. I didn't mind it. It told obviously backstory of the rats and stuff like that, but again, I wasn't really that invested in them.
One of my issues, and I might get a bit of hate for this, was I felt like they were trying to shoehorn a sexuality for Siri that is only really insinuated in the kind of like the games, etc. I felt like they were pushing that a little bit too hard for the sake of it, which I felt didn't really add to the story. In fact, it probably took away from the story a little bit for me.
I didn't have an issue with it from that point, but I agree. I think from a story,
I didn't have an issue with it, but from a story perspective, it didn't really seem to, like I've read a lot and spoke to a lot of people that that played the games and looked into it a lot myself. A lot of research, and it just didn't really seem to. It just seemed a bit forced.
It wasn't necessary. It's like
it wasn't.
I'm not really bothered by what her preferences.
I'm not bothered about the content or.
No, I'm not either. And it's like, it was very much like it felt very forced in the story.
Correct.
It didn't. It felt like not very natural. I just felt. To be fair, my pain points for the series was Siri. Like me, I just didn't feel that was the strongest.
Which is a shame in the other seasons, she was great. She's a great actress. She played a really great part as Siri in the earlier shows.
I
do wonder if that was some of the bone of contention with Cavill leaving.
I think that's the thing. There was some reports that I obviously can't say for sure because we never know unless we're the individuals. There was a bit of a bone of contention between the actress and the studio with the fact of Henry Cavill leaving, where she wasn't happy with it. And I get that. I really wish Henry Cavill could have carried on and stayed playing that role because he was a very good Witcher.
Even if it wasn't just for continuity reasons.
No, but I feel for Liam Hemsworth massively because he went into a role that he was automatically going to get hate for.
Yeah.
It was one of announcement. But tell you what, he played that role so fucking well.
Well, if it wasn't for him, they'd have just had to stop. That's it. End of Witcher. So, people can hate on him as much as they like. And when it was first announced, I wasn't the biggest fan myself. However,
that wasn't necessarily against him.
No,
it was more than he's going,
just
really?
The show and what had happened. Yeah. But he kind of saved the show, and I'm hoping because I know they did. I know when they announced the change, they said, right, we're going to do this season and then one more after. So I'm hoping they go the way that we've said about some other shows, and that they actually write in a proper ending season. Because for me, that would really, really top it off on a high for me.
Or at least tie up the story that they've been kind of telling here. Because obviously Geralt's story continues.
And just finish it off. Of course it does, yeah. So just finish this tale and then end it.
I think that's the best thing to do. And it's like, I am looking forward to the next series to see how they go with it and the past it. And obviously this inspired another shoot that we're looking at doing, which has got bigger, where we shoot at absolute locations which was shot, because I sat there watching it and go, that's where I shoot this content that I do and here. So that's something to look forward to this year as well.
Definitely.
A few people for that as well.
So before we move on to what's coming up, another one I've been watching is, I think there's a season 2 coming out this year, if I'm not wrong, is Black Doves. Keira Knightley.
No of it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah. Again, it was another one I was scrolling through, something to watch. What can I watch? Got Keira Knightley. I like the sound of the plot. Let's watch it. And you know what?
You know
what? It's really, really good. I'm really, really pleased with the way it's going.
A bit hit and miss with Keira Knightley because I think I
she's
haven't
really
seen her
good
in a
in this.
while.
She's really good in this. Yeah. So
She
it's
was hit and
also
miss for a while in the early days.
it's also got I can't remember the guy's name, but he was in the last couple of Bond movies. Ben Whishaw. So he played, I think, was it Q in the last few Bond
Oh
movies?
yeah, I know who you're
So yeah, he's fantastic actor. He kind of comes into it. He's really, really good. It's got Sarah Lancashire in as well, and loads of other sort of really great people. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's a bit of a slow burner, but it's one of those slow burners that kind of draws you in. So it's
Oh,
one
I
that you
remember
kind of
seeing a trailer
can't
for
put
this.
down.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Really good. Definitely one I would recommend. I'm not going to give any spoilers away to anyone on this one, because I've not finished it myself yet. So, but yeah,
I think
good one to watch.
I think I saw the trailer for this and it was like, ooh, I want to watch it. Yeah, because that came out season one. Season one came out in 2024, and season
Yes,
two is announced, but it's not out yet.
No, it's
I heard
scheduled
good
for
things
this
about
year, but
this.
we've got no dates yet.
Okay, yeah.
Another one that I've been watching, it started a few years ago. It's kind of arcs back to like the 90s, and it's a show called Bel Air, and it's kind of a reboot. If you remember the Fresh Prince of Bel Air from like the 90s, Will Smith,
Yeah.
and it's a weird story about this show because it actually came about because some people did like a spoof trailer for this new show, and it went absolutely fucking viral online because everyone thought it was real, and it wasn't. It was a spoof. And Will Smith picked up on it because obviously he was the original Will in Fresh Prince of
Well,
Bel
Fresh
Air.
Prince of Bel-Air. It was
He
about
picked
him originally.
exactly. He picked up on it, and he was like, "This is fucking amazing." So he did some things, and as far as I'm aware, that's what started this new show, and it's been going. Well, it's been going a few years now, probably 2022 it started.
Really? I thought it was really. Didn't think it was that long.
And the main actor who plays Will Smith, Barra Banks, is
Yeah.
he plays. I don't know if you've seen this, Tom. He
I've seen
plays such a
trailers. I haven't seen massive
fantastic.
amounts of it.
He's really, really great, and he's got some fantastic other people in as well. So it's got who else might we recognise? Jimmy Aking Bowler or Aking Bowler.
You
I don't
recognize
know
the
what I'll
name?
recognise him from, but he's been in some really great stuff. Adrian Holmes has been in some really cool stuff as well.
I think when it comes to Bel Air, I think I was a little bit opposed to watching because I grew up on Fresh Prince.
Yeah, same. But I watched it, and it's kind of like a new era of it. And
So where
there's a
can you watch
lot
that if
of
you're so if someone's
there's
interested in
some
watching that, where's that from?
differences. Yeah, there's some differences, but a lot of it just arcs back and it keeps Easter egg after Easter egg. And I've not finished watching the latest season yet, but I believe that Will Smith actually makes a cameo in the last
He
episode.
does. I did see a clip of this where Will Smith's
Yeah.
in the final episode, I think it is, like the final few scenes.
And I think they've announced another season as well. I hope they have. Because I'm actually really enjoying it.
I don't think they've done another one. I think it's the end of it.
Is it? Ah, interesting.
I could be wrong. I don't know much about the series. I know it was it was around. I hadn't watched it.
It's really good. I'm really loving it.
Do a watch. Where's that on anyway?
Say again.
Where is that on? Or is it one of these?
It's a Peacock one, so you've got to kind of stream it. I think a lot of stuff you can access through, like Amazon's really great for being able to access different networks. Sometimes you have to use a VPN in order to get access to things, which is great.
That's very true.
For anyone that just while we're talking about VPNs, I'm
not sponsored by VPNs by any chance.
No, but I'm quite new to VPNs. I've never really used them until kind of like the latter part of last year. I was always kind of put off by a lot of VPNs that wanted to force you to sign up to a year or whatever. So I started using one called MobLand VPN, and they only do a monthly service. So it's like $4.99 for 30 days, and that's it. And you renew every 30 days. So there's no contracts. They don't like sign you in or anything.
You can say any time, and it just runs out at the end of that
Yeah,
month.
exactly. It just runs out after 30 days, and you can have, I think it's 2 or 3 different devices on like one plan, and I'm really really pleased with it. It's never missed a beat. So
if we're talking about VPNs, I'm on Norton VPN. I have been for a few years now. Originally, and this is probably going, any legal people are watching this probably going to get mixed up now. It was originally be able to, so I could log on to watch stuff on like Disney or Netflix over in the US, because obviously everyone's platforms are different compared to it. But obviously they've cracked down a little bit on VPN access for the streaming services. Unless you have an address for certain countries, you can't really watch.
Although I found with things like Netflix, if I use
Netflix is still the same.
but a few of them,
Paramount doesn't work.
The get around sometimes is a lot of these streaming services seem to have different rules for mobile devices like phones and tablets as they do for PCs. So sometimes watching it on a laptop gets around the issues and vice versa. But the reason I started doing it
depends on the service. I know Paramount Plus, you can't unless you log into an account that's in that country.
Yeah.
But that's how I used to use it. But obviously with a lot of the data prevention laws that are going on in the UK.
But then it's easy with a VPN if you're
just added
if you're in France and you just set your VPN to the UK. So your local
area.
There's
also there's an element of security, especially when we start seeing a lot of phishing emails and spam stuff like this. It's useful to have it anyway because it just clears out a lot of that crap.
I mean,
you don't need
quite often, even when I'm at home, I'll have my VPN running and I'll just have it set to UK.
Mine's on my phone constantly.
I mainly got it because obviously I'm starting to do more European cons, and it's frustrating sometimes when I take my Fire Stick with me and I plug it in and I'm like, oh, you can't watch this show because it's not available in Switzerland. I'm like, oh fuck.
It's all right. We only ever watch SWAT, and that's available everywhere.
True, exactly. But yeah, so.
Anyways, that's what 20. Are we done with 25?
We're on to 25. Yeah, right. Let's talk about what's coming out for TV shows this year. Yeah, I mean the first one I'm going to talk about because it's just been launched and I'm hoping to watch the first episode tonight. Is the new Star Trek show, Starfleet Academy.
Watched it this morning.
Did you? Is it good? I've heard it is.
It's very mixture between Discovery. This is because whilst I was also setting up for this podcast, I was watching the back end of the first episode and I started watching the second episode. I really enjoyed it. It is very much a mixture between Discovery meets Strange New Worlds.
Okay.
And I know Strange New Worlds was born from Discovery, but obviously there's a bit of a different tempo between them. But what I really love is that intro at the start, because it's the 60th anniversary of Star Trek. And they go through is the main intro as a bit like the Marvel intro and the DC intro. It's essentially the Star Trek intro, but what they've done is each ship for each generation that they've had the main series from.
Okay.
It's really quite cool. Anyway, that's not about the show. Show-wise, episode 1, I actually really enjoyed it. It's going to be an interesting series because obviously it's set around after the events of Discovery and after the burn, if you've seen Discovery.
Right.
So if you haven't seen
it's a long time ago since I've watched Discovery.
So what I would recommend is if you haven't watched Discovery and you're an avid Star Trek fan, watch that first, then come in and watch this. Not that they compare.
No, I'm going to watch it tonight. Fuck it.
To be fair, they don't marry up, but it's just understanding kind of what history's happened. Because obviously in season 2 of Discovery, we meet obviously Strange New Worlds crew, and then season 3 they're in the fat way into the future of
I have no doubt that I'll sort of remember like Discovery as soon as I start watching it.
You'll remember they make references to Discovery.
Okay.
Like, why can't Discovery come in and help, or why can't these bits and pieces? But they explain it in there anyway. But it's very much because it's about Starfleet Academy. It's about bringing in Starfleet Academy back into a world that hasn't had Starfleet in it for such a long time, and it's bringing these characters, bringing this Starfleet Federation back into where it is former glory, and it's the first inductee year of the Academy. So I think it's kind of cool that they've kind of set it in this time period, because it makes sense, because it means they can kind of do what they want to a point. And I think it has a very solid first, like a premiere episode. It's nice. Very good. It's got
is it a week by week thing, or are they dumped all episodes in one go?
No, it's a week by week. It's Paramount Plus. So if you're in the UK, it's Paramount Plus. It's week by week. The first 2 episodes are out, and then it'll be weekly after that, like they did with Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, I literally subscribed to. I got a deal through Amazon Prime to subscribe to Paramount over Christmas, because there was a couple of things I wanted to watch.
Some really good shit on there. There's like a lot.
There was a couple of things I wanted to watch on there, but I knew this was coming out in January, so I subscribed to it, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. So I'm gonna watch the first episode tonight.
Yeah. So again, MobLand on Paramount Plus. We are not sponsored by Paramount Plus, but Paramount Plus wants to sponsor us.
If they want to sponsor us to review their shows, I'm happily do so.
I know that Paramount's asked a few friends to go to a premiere of a horror film. Like, if you want to promote us for Star Trek Strange New World season 5 when that comes out, by all means.
I mean that's what I was coming on to next. Actually, Strange New Worlds season 4 comes out this year. Because it'll be season 4 this year, and then season 5 is going to be the finisher. So that's another one where they have said we're doing this amount of seasons, and they've always
said it. For season 1, they've said it's going to be 5 seasons long.
Which you know what? I'm actually really love it. They've got a starting point and an end goal in mind.
I think from a collaborative process or a story development process, they have that. They know what they need to do in a certain time period. I tell you what, though, I fucking love Star Trek Strange New Worlds. That cast
just
fucking brilliant. It's almost like in some ways revitalized. It's just
season 3 was just fucking brutal, like emotionally, mentally.
Yeah. Like
it
even
was
the
like,
enemy.
It was like something else I've never seen, whereby the main character in the show was put through so much fucking emotional turmoil and anguish, and not come out a winner at the end of the season.
Oh, but you even look at the pilot, like, where she gets stranded on a planet, and she's stranded with the enemy that we've been fighting for the last few seasons, and you kind of almost go, I feel sorry for them. Like, you have this emotional connection with them.
It's just such a great. I think season 3 for me,
been by far one of the best
so far, has been the pinnacle of this show, and I've loved every episode. I think there was 1 or 2 what I call bullshit episodes where they did a mix with the a crossover with the animation one, as it just wasn't fucking needed.
Wasn't needed, but it was still a fun it was still a fun episode to bring that into it, and I kind of, as much as it wasn't needed, it was still a fun episode. It wasn't a terrible episode.
But this season, even the sort of like, even the silly ones, there was 1 or 2 ones that, you might have said weren't needed. They still felt relevant.
The thing is, it reminds me very much of old school TV, where you have your overarching plot, but then you have them one-off episodes that, it's not driving the main story, but
just a bit of fun.
Can't always be driving it every season, especially old school TV where it was like 20 episodes a season.
Yeah,
just have them one-off. That was like, we are building towards something, but you can't always be building that one thing. So there's always going to be these other things that happen. No. It's like life. Everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You always have random shit that goes on in life.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. There's no release date for it yet, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be like summer or autumn.
I tell you what, though.
I guess probably end of summer or beginning of autumn.
The last few years for Star Trek has been some of the best television that they've
I think
probably
Star Trek
produced.
for me, there's often this, you're either Star Trek or Star Wars.
I love both, but I'm
both, but I prefer Star Trek. Simple as that, because it's more consistent with the quality.
That's what I was about to say. I was going to say Star Trek lately, or not even lately, like it has done for a long time.
I think through and through.
It has just got.
You look at the Picard series. The Picard show was fantastic,
especially that last series was fucking brilliant. It was nostalgia all in a tea.
Even the likes of Voyager, Deep Space Nine was a bit of a weak one for me.
It was watchable, but it wasn't brilliant.
Yeah, Generations was the weakest great one. It's been solid through and through, and I wanted to do a new movie because the last couple of movies have been fantastic.
There was rumors of them bringing back Chris Pine and Zachary Quintoff, is it? Or Zachary something, as Spock, to come back and do a fourth one, which I think, if anything, they're waiting for Zoe Saldana to probably have free time between Avatar and Lioness. Ooh, Lionesses. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I've started watching it, but I'm not finished the first season yet.
We'll finish Star Trek first before getting the Lionesses and Zoe Saldana.
Well, I think we're pretty much done with Star Trek.
I think Star Trek Picard season 3 was by far the best series. It was also very nostalgia of Next Generation.
Season 4 I'm looking forward to, and even more so, I'm looking forward to seeing how they finish it off.
Exactly.
I don't want to see it end, but I'm also happy with the fact as they know they've got an end goal in mind.
I'm saying, and I like the fact that we're focusing on Picard and it's not about Kirk. I love that dynamic that we are getting Pike, and I think the actor that plays Pike is spot on.
Oh, he's brilliant. I think we first saw him in Discovery?
Yeah, it's Discovery season 2, and I think that was the strongest series Discovery's ever had. And it was because of them.
It first introduces to Pike, and straight off I was like, I really like this dude.
Yeah.
And then they did Strange New Worlds, and I was like, yeah, fuck, I'm going to watch this. And
it was probably my turning point for Star Trek for a while.
Yeah.
I think for Star Trek, that was my turning point where I was like, I'm really fucking loving Star Trek right now.
Yeah, it's peak Star Trek for sure.
Talking about Zoe Saldana, I want to jump back a little bit back to 25, and I know we're on 26 right now. Lionesses. Again,
I've seen probably the first half of the first season. I've not watched the rest.
It can be a slow burn at the start. Watch through it. Once I got into it, I binge watched the shit out of it. I binge watched season 1.
Yeah, I didn't stop watching it because I didn't enjoy it. It was purely because I started watching it because I was looking for something to watch. Whilst I was waiting for some things to come on, and then those things came on, and I moved to those. I do want to get back to watching it because I liked where it went.
It's such a strong series, and it has such great storytelling. Zoe Saldana's character is fucking brilliant in that. She's trying to balance being obviously CIA with a family life and whatnot, and then you've got what's the fucking name? Nicole Kidman, as well as like the boss lady. But then it's talking about like the whole Black Ops side of things of life within CIA. Like season 1 is good. Season 2 really steps up that notch.
Oh, really?
Really kind of takes you involved with them characters. So season 3, I think, is out this year. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen the end of season 2. But I need to, like you, I just kind of jumped off to other things. Not that I didn't want to watch it. No. It was just, I was watching it weekly and I just kind of just bared off until it finished. But again, that is a phenomenal series. It's on Paramount Plus. If you haven't seen it, it is worth a watch. If you like that sort of spy, thriller, action style of series. Brilliant.
Yeah, correct.
Anyway, back to 2026.
We've got Neegly coming out.
Yes, back to Reacher. I don't know much about it other than the fact that obviously it follows her.
Yeah, I don't know whether Reacher is going to play a cameo. As much as I would love it, I kind of maybe don't want him to, because he would kind of not become I don't want it to be the focus if he does.
If anything, I want it to be a cameo of like a phone call.
Or how they met, or just some flashbacks or something.
Well, basically how we have Neegly in some of the series that we have, where he might appear up for like 30 seconds to be like, do you need help? And she's like, no, I've got this. You know. how she's appeared in Reacher in past seasons where she's not been needed massively.
No.
But to show that support that he's there for her no matter
Yes.
what.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. We've got Sweet Pea season 2.
I need to watch the first series, to be honest.
I'm not going to spoil it. All I'm going to say is just fucking hell.
I know Steph loved it. So Steph being my other half, she absolutely loved it. She watched it with her dad and they binged it like literally one night. I didn't even know where she was. And I was like, where are you?
I started watching it because it was Ella Purnell, and I read a little bit about it before I did, and I was like, you know what? I like the sound of this. So I put the first episode on, and I was hooked right from the start. It just grips you. And the way the story unfolds, it is completely fucking unhinged. But it's such a great story. I am really excited to see where they go with season 2.
So yeah, I mean, another season that's coming out, and I know Troy's looking forward to this. Lanterns. It's one of the seasons brought by DC. Lanterns is coming out later this year, at some point this year. Obviously, it's focusing around the Green Lantern Corps between two different lanterns. Lanterns follows new recent recruits John Stewart and Lantern legend Hal Jordan. Two incredible cops drawn into a dark Earth-based mystery as they investigate a murder in the American heartland. So
interesting.
It seems like the synopsis for that sounds quite interesting. And this is something from someone else. I was quite late to Peacemaker, and I'm not going to get too heavily involved in how that ended. Because I was very shocked that it was ending, because I thought it was going to be another season. Anyway, I really enjoyed what they did with Peacemaker. I was late to it. I got ill at the back end of last year, so I kind of binge watched all seasons. But if that's anything that's based off with the DC franchise, with the way that they're going with stuff, I'm looking forward to Lanterns. It'll be really good. I'm actually kind of glad that Lanterns is a series, not a film.
Yeah, it's got some big names in as well, like Nathan Fillion. Fillion, sorry.
Oh, Nathan Fillion. I mean, he's best mates with James Gunn anyway. So the fact that Nathan Fillion's in it doesn't actually really shock me, considering he is a Lantern in Superman.
Yeah, he's with
a really bad bowl cut.
Massive fan of him from like Firefly and Serenity and.
Oh, if you love a Nathan Fillion, then you need to watch Rookie Cop or The Rookie.
Yeah, I do need to watch that. I've seen bits of it.
It is such an easy watching show, and once you start watching it, it's very similar to like old school TV where you get like 20 episodes.
Yeah.
It's very old school TV, and it is brilliant. I absolutely love it. There's a joke between me and friends with there's a song in there. It's called Daddy Cop. If you know what I mean, you'll know what I mean. There's a few friends that will play that as we see each other at cons, and all of a sudden you'll hear Daddy Cop playing. Generally means it's between me and a few friends. This is going to be a controversial one, and I understand why it's a controversial one, but please don't cancel us for this one. Harry Potter, the TV series.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yes, I agree. She's a knobhead. Right. We don't need to go into more detail than that. But there's more people who are involved with this franchise now than just her. Get it?
Yeah, true.
I'm not a fan.
I don't even know what involvement she's had in this. I'm not.
I don't think she's had much.
I'm still not like.
Let's put it this way. Like
dickhead aside, I'm still not sure how I feel about the series. Full stop. Never mind her and her like ridiculous fucking views.
But the thing is, right, let's get rid of her as a human being. I'm not worried about her. Like, her opinions, her views, whatever, go away. Harry Potter, for me, I grew up on this as a franchise. I know Nat, your other half, she's very she loves massively. It. And there's a lot of people that resonate with this franchise. I get it. I don't hate on everybody that has a childhood thing for it. There's also a lot. We've got to the point now in society where this is going to be fucking hilarious. If anyone actually gets this far podcast, I'm going to get so much hate for this. Woohoo! We're on 2026.
I mean, we're on what, day 16? It's a good time to get cancelled.
I haven't been cancelled yet this year so far, so let's make this the first time.
Let's start the year off on a high.
Okay, right. She could have zero input to the rest of Harry Potter for the rest of her life, and it's not going to prevent her from living her life as a fucking billionaire. Right. I get it. I agree with a lot of people and what everyone is saying. Anyway, let's just focus on the franchise. There's so many more people involved.
Just one more thing, obviously. She could not make another penny from HP stuff for the rest of her life, and she'd still be set to the point where she could still keep investing in whatever shit cunt stuff she wants to keep doing. So anyway,
she is the point that she has that much money that no matter she doesn't have to receive another penny for the rest of her life, and she will still have enough money to basically pay for half of the UK.
So,
anyway, enough of politics and all that stuff. Right. Because Harry Potter is bigger than just one person these days.
I don't even know when this is coming out.
I don't know. It's a HBO Max thing. What I find hilarious is I'm on IMDb, and they've turned around and gone, Harry Potter, plot unknown.
Wow, really?
Fucking really? Harry Potter, plot unknown. It has enough of that. It's got 7 books and 8 films. Everyone knows
even
the plot
IMDb
of this
have abandoned it.
IMDb, yeah. But thing is, though, as much as from a point of view, from a story, let's just take it from a Harry Potter story, not person. I'm interested and intrigued to see how this plays out. If they do it very similar to how they've done, like, say, Game of Thrones or House of Dragons, and I mean in the sense of length per episode, because you take Mandalorian, 20 minutes an episode, not long enough. With this sort of thing, you need to be running about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And you need to be at least a minimum of 10 episodes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To pull off a good story. Now,
although I can see it flopping.
Because of the hate.
Purely because of the stuff surrounding the author.
I can see that. And
which is a shame. I mean, I don't know what, if any, involvement she's had in this, but even if she has no involvement,
I think she had involvement in the early days.
I could see it flopping purely because no one wants to be attached to it.
I think there's been a lot of drama around this because obviously the actor that's playing Voldemort is.
But I am intrigued as to where they go with the story.
I'm intrigued. Obviously, we know the story, but I'm intrigued to watch it because, as a kid, for me, as a dyslexic kid who was not able to read books, this was something that my mum read to me as a child, and this has a lot of sentiment to me. So as much as I might not necessarily agree with the author in certain views, it holds a place in my heart for something that I was excited for as a kid, and it got me excited for books.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And the fact that my child is at a point where he's reading more and he has found his way into this storytelling world. And let's face it, my child's 8 years old, right? He has no knowledge of views and opinions of the wider world. And he's falling in love with a franchise for simply the fact that it's a storytelling thing. And I don't want to ruin his opinion on something just because there's one bad egg.
Well, let's face it, an 8-year-old shouldn't be worried about those challenges and views anyway.
Exactly. And the fact that he's fallen in love with this world that a lot of us have, to me, that's what's more important is the world that it's there. Anyway, we could end up having this debate for a whole episode and we'll get nowhere.
And if you haven't switched off by now because we've been talking about HP, we'll continue. We've got one that I've not seen the initial series, Hijack, Idris Elba. That's coming back.
This is something I was going to talk about. I've seen trailers for it recently, and I keep seeing it, and I'm like, I need to watch it. So I think this is Apple TV.
It was an Apple TV thing, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It is something that's on my radar that I want to watch.
It was Apple TV, but it keeps popping up on my Amazon Prime as a thing. So I don't know whether it's crossed over now.
Amazon Prime has a subscription point where you can obviously link into it, which then also comes into like MGM as well. Which
Same with Paramount Plus and a few others.
Anyway, Hijack, yes, that's something that's been popping up. There's a season 2 of Hijack. Idris Elba, brilliant actor. I haven't seen season 1, but it is now on my list.
But I want to.
It's on my radar. So this year,
same.
Hold out for the next geeky episode. We might make a bit where we talk about Hijack.
The Night Manager is another one I started. The Night Manager is one I've been hearing about. That's coming back for a season 2.
Already out for
and I'm
season
hearing
2.
good things about.
So I watched season 1 years and years ago when it came out.
Yeah, because it's quite an old one, isn't it?
It is, because they've been pestering him to do a season 2, and it was always a limited series. It was always promoted by BBC that it was going to be a limited series. Brilliant series, like, you know, it's your proper sort of drama, good British drama show. You know, Tom Hiddleston is the main role. You had Hugh Laurie in the first series as well. Brilliant show, as I remember. I haven't seen it for a few years, but they've just brought out season 2, and obviously season 2 is now airing. My in-laws are watching it, and they've said it's very good. I haven't jumped on that trend yet, purely because it's been such a long time since I've watched the last series that actually I'm not bothered if I watch it again, because I can't actually remember, so I'd have to watch it. I'd have to watch it from the start again, and I have this proposal to avoid BBC projects.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily against the actors, it's more against the fact BBC is just trying to squeeze more money out of everybody.
Yeah, totally.
But again, politics.
Let's move on. Reacher, we know we've already talked about. That's coming back for season 4. We don't know when, but it is coming back this year, and that's another one I'm looking forward to.
Here's one. Here's one that I know your other half's going to love. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is returning.
That's it's going to be a reboot, isn't it? But it's also going to feature. It's going to feature Sarah Michelle Gellar as an older character, I believe.
It's essentially it's a sequel to the original from the 90s to early 2000s, with Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but then also it's her bringing in a new generation.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see where this goes.
And I know she's had a lot of dealings with it from a creative point of view, as well as the original creator of the show.
That's got to be a positive thing, because I know there's been mixed reviews about it. But
well, no, I think for her, she's kind of turned around and went, "Look, I'm only going to get involved in this. This is going to be good." You know, like she's so precious of this character.
It needs to complement the original, or don't do it. And if that's the case, then
I know Sarah Michelle Gellar is very much she's tied to this character. You know, she's known for this character, and she wouldn't be involved in this project if she doesn't believe in it. But yes, so that's something else to look forward to this year.
Yeah, obviously we've already talked about Witcher. That's going to finish with the latest
hopefully this year or next year.
Yeah, it's tipped for this year. House of the Dragon.
That's coming back. Talking about House of the Dragon and the world of Game of Thrones, we also have a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms that is coming out this year.
Interesting.
Which is set at a different time period. I think it's set after House of the Dragons, but before Game of Thrones.
Interesting.
I think it's one of what they say. It's like a century before Game of Thrones. Sir Duncan the Tall and his squire Egg wandering through Westeros whilst. Sorry, I'm a bit drunk at this point, tipsy at this point, so diction is a bit shite. Targaryen dynasty ruled in the Iron Throne. Oh, so the Targaryens are still ruling the Iron Throne, and dragons were still remembered. Great.
Okay.
So essentially, it sounds like it's set obviously after House of the Dragon. Dragons are remembered to still roam the world, but obviously are no longer around. So this is before.
So we kind of know what happens in the end of the House of the Dragon at that point.
Well, we kind of knew that anyway because of Game of Thrones, because,
true.
He's brought the dragons back. So
true. That'll be interesting. Last one on TV shows.
I think, hang on, before that, on the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I think the first episode has premiered. I'm not sure where. If it's in the UK, it's probably on Sky Atlantic. Potentially.
Okay. Daredevil, Born Again, coming back.
Oh, that's a piece of shit. Let's not watch that.
Pardon?
It's a piece of shit. Let's not watch that. Sorry, Troy. So awful. Let's never watch Daredevil. I'm joking.
No, I'm looking forward to that.
I am as well, and we have a lot of work to do before March.
We do. So let's end TV chat there, I think.
Before we end TV chat there, I think Daredevil, Born Again, season 2.
Go on.
I think we need to lighten a few
I
folks.
thought we were going to end Daredevil chat there.
You know, who wants Daredevil? Who wants another shot of Troy in very tight leather pants?
I think we've shot him enough. To be fair, I mean, you know.
Daredevil, yeah, 2025, so many shots. Anyhow, it's not like he watches our podcast anyway. He's got his own podcast.
No, he's too busy doing his own, you know,
and his crafting and other things. Anyhow, Daredevil. So as we mentioned, season 2, Born Again's coming out. It's very exciting because season 1 was very good on Disney.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes.
So Troy approached both myself and Darren with a project. Shock, it's Daredevil related. Who would have guessed? It's either that or Superman. I mean, what? So we're looking at trying to recreate the stairwell scene.
Well, that's just one of the scenes. We want to do a few, but yeah, the first one is going to be one of the stairwell scenes.
The battle between Daredevil and Bullseye is essentially what we're going to try and recreate in photography, imagery. Yeah, drinking and podcast, never a good idea.
In a cinematic way.
Using the series Saturn and Venus.
It should be fun.
We won't get into the debate that me and Darren were having on another conversation about this, the Saturn lens. But yeah, essentially we're trying to recreate that opening scene from Daredevil season 1, with bar scene, the stairwell between Daredevil and Bullseye. It's been headed up by Troy.
Should be good.
Tempest.
Should be good.
One other. I'm sorry, I don't names very easily. But yeah, that's something that's going to look at this year. So we're hopefully trying. Well, mind you, it looked like from the chat that we might have found a stairwell. So
yeah,
it's just finding the bar, I think, for the next bit. I think any sort of sports bar would work, but hey, that's a different conversation for a different time. So that's the end of TV.
I don't know. I think it needs to be a bar with character, not just a bar.
Hear me out. We go back to tours. We go to the Irish bar because it was an Irish bar in New York. We know they do good.
So France it is.
For France it is. There's a very nice blonde waitress in one of the bars next door. They do a very nice pizza. But
yeah, it's going to be. I mean, it's a project. There's ourselves, Troy, Batgig, Dr. Larry, Tog, James is going to do some video. So it's going to be a good project. That's what I'm looking forward to.
It will be, yeah. We need to put a finger out, I think, now that we're in 2026.
We have got a lot of, well, not a lot, but we've got a few set projects this year that are of a reasonable size.
Which we will get into when we probably talk about next.
We'll come on to that shortly. So we're going to move on to games.
I think it's going to be a very short one because there's not very many.
So on to games then. I'm actually quite underwhelmed at the moment for the games that are coming out this year. I mean, I'm quite particular about the type of games that I like anyway, but a lot of my sort of games seem to be like pushed back, sort of back end of this year or beyond. I mean, the obvious one is Cyberpunk 2, which there's no release date for, and they've even hinted that is like maybe even 2030.
But yeah, I think Cyberpunk, we're not going to look at getting that until at least minimum.
I'll be a fucking pensioner by the time that comes out.
I wish I was a pensioner by the time that came out. Fucking hell. Don't get me started on that.
Obviously, GTA 6 has been pushed back to November, which I'm looking forward to, but I'm not. We'll see.
I'll play that. I think I'll play that just purely for the story.
I'll play it, but it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't get pushed back to next year.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think I probably won't play until it comes out on sale instead of paying full
Yeah,
price for it. I'm not going to pay full price for that.
no.
Um,
Forza Horizon 6 is what I'm looking forward to. That's rumored to be May this year.
so there is a game that I'm really looking forward to. It's probably a bit of an underdog of a game, and it's called The
Okay.
Expanse, The Origin, I think. Anyway, The Expanse is a TV series developed by Amazon. If you've never seen The Expanse, it's a science. If you're into like science fiction type shows in space, it's quite a good one. It's actually really quite good. But they're making it. Basically, they're making a game out of it. So that for me, as a fan of The Expanse, the TV series, I'm really
Nice.
excited because it means I'm going to step foot into the world of the Expanse. I don't
That'd
really
be
want
good.
to say too much because it's got a bit of
Rumors
pop, but
more than anything. Yeah. I mean, like Forza Horizon 6, I'm looking forward to because that's taking place in Japan. I like my driving games anyway. So that'll be good.
talking of driving games that I'm actually looking forward to, which actually comes from the Star Wars world, is the new Star Wars Racer. It's actually
Okay.
developed and made by the same guys that made Need for Speed.
That
That could be
might be
quite
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're bringing out a whole new game system with the whole sort of like pod racer, but it's not related to pods. I know when after episode 1 they brought the pod racer game out, but they've brought out the Need for Speed guys are doing a Star Wars racing game, which I think
Interesting.
fucking hell, that'd be, especially if they do it like an underground style game,
Yeah.
that'd be epic.
Yeah. Spine, obviously, I mentioned before, a bit cyberpunk-esque.
No idea when that's coming out.
It's still just rumored to be this year. I'm still in the Discord, although I don't sort of avidly follow it. I kind of have it on mute, dipping in and out. There's just a lot of stuff in there. But it's still looking really, really great. And I'm hoping. In fact, what did they release?
Well,
They released an update at the end of last year.
yeah, they said sorry for like the lack of communications, but obviously they're
So
trying to
just
work
saying,
out
I think they're still aiming for 26, but
the
we'll kind of see. I hope so.
there's a James Bond game which I'm a little bit meh about. That comes out in May. Not really that bothered, but pretty cool. So it's been probably like one of the first James Bond games since GoldenEye on the Nintendo.
Interesting.
Could be interesting. You got Lego games still coming out.
Yeah.
One that I'm looking forward to that I don't know when's going to come out because BioWare hasn't announced it yet, but obviously they've been announced that it's been worked on, which is Mass Effect 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'd heard rumors.
Mass Effect 5. That has been talked about for years.
Yeah, it has.
And
yeah,
I know that they put a lot of work into it after they did Dragon Age Veilguard. They moved a lot of the staff over to prioritize Mass Effect. So that should be between now and 2030, I reckon. But again, I'd rather them take the time on like Mass Effect for me is a franchise that needs that time to really evolve it. I don't want them to rush that. Like for me, Mass Effect is a game that
yeah. I've never played any of the Mass Effect games, but
if you haven't
I
played
really
the Legacy
like
Pack,
the vibe from what I've seen.
Play the Legacy Pack because the Legacy Pack was released a few years back and that brought everything from Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 and not all the DLCs into one big pack.
Yeah. Might give that a
So
go.
definitely give that a look. That's on console as well as PC.
Interesting.
It's a good game. It's a good thing because basically it's a very decision-based game. So whatever decisions you make in the first game, carry over the second, vice versa, second to third.
I like the sound of that.
Even like the decisions you make in the first game also impact the third game. So there's a lot of decisions that you make. So every time you do a playthrough from first to third, your decisions really tailor how you play the game.
Okay.
Really, it is a really good game. Brilliant story, and multiple different paths, multiple different stories, depending on how well you play the game.
Interesting.
Really makes how BioWare used to make games really stand out.
Nice. I don't think there's much else.
So PlayStation announced the back end of last year, or this year. Obviously, Halo Combat Evolved, the original Halo game, is being remastered and remade for PlayStation 5. So that's a stepping stone. Like, you've got original Xbox exclusive games coming to the likes of PlayStation, which will also be released again on Xbox and PC, I think. But that's coming this year for PlayStation. You've also got Gears of War E-Day coming out later this year at some point, which is obviously a prequel to the original Gears of War games, which I'm looking forward to personally as a Gears of War fan. Game-wise, it's just not.
It's a bit flat for me.
You got the new Tomb Raider that looked pretty good from the announcements from the Game Awards.
But again, there's no. It's not even fully confirmed for this year.
No, there was two that was released, one for this year and potentially one for the year after.
Yeah.
Which is basically a revamp, or a retelling of the original game.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like the fact that they've kind of gone back to the way that the original Tomb Raider is.
Yeah, but again, it depends on the quality of it. To announce it last year and say it's coming out this year, I don't have high hopes.
It depends on the working on it, I guess.
And it's not even showing in any of the GameSpot calendar for this year.
This is a bit of a wild request, but it's not a game that's been saying this is coming out. But game that I would love to see remade is Army of Two.
Yeah,
that game was fucking.
That was
epic.
incredible.
That game was epic, and I think bringing that back as a co-op game or as a remake, that would be a brilliant game. Absolutely fantastic game.
Because when it was launched, it was kind of like groundbreaking for the way you played it. Yeah.
You went back to back, and
I remember when that first came out. When was it released? It's just
that's years. It's like 2000 something. I say 2005.
We have two.
No, before that.
2000. All right, let's have a look.
2003.
2008.
Oh,
later than I thought.
So
yeah, which kind of ties in because at the time my best friend he had a courier company and he was going back and forth a lot to Europe. So he was, we used to play a lot of video games together, but he was kind of like out of the country a lot. And the fact that this came out as like a sort of co-op thing, was interesting.
Yeah, no, I think Army 2 would be a brilliant game to bring back. But again, that's something that isn't one that's just me a wish list. For me, again, we've got Witcher 4 with Siri at some point over this year and between now and 2030. I know that much. So they did that whole Unreal Engine preview last year for it, which was proving that it was documenting how Unreal Engine was working within the new state of things.
Yeah, because they're moving to that, aren't they? CDPR. They're moving from their original engine to, a new way of working because they feel like they can progress more with Unreal. But it is a learning curve for them. I mean, I don't know. One of the things I like about CD Projekt Red games is because they didn't use Unreal and it had its own unique look.
I think Unreal Engine kind of brings on that world from a game development tool that's always going to be able to progress, because if you do it on Unreal, you have a more of a chance to enhance it as you go along, versus if they have their own game engine themselves, it's harder to push that through.
I think it's easier to make things multi-platform when it's Unreal.
And I think they have a more of a chance to move it. If Unreal, I think it's Unreal Engine 5 at the minute, and once you get to Unreal Engine 8 and so on, it just allows them to enhance the game even more in longevity of things. And I kind of hope so. For me, I'm an avid Destiny, so Bungie game of Destiny 2, that is my game. That is the thing that I chill out to. I really would love them to move away from their personal engine over to a different 2000 to evolve.
Yeah.
I really want them to bring out a Destiny 3 because I feel like it's time. I also feel like the Destiny franchise is a bit.
Actually.
Destiny's. I will always support Destiny, but I feel like we're in a bit of a lull at the moment. It's a hard one because obviously Sony now owns Bungie. And I think that's actually I actually think that's the best part is actually that Sony owns them because.
Do you? Let's not talk about that. We'll get into a whole debate.
No, the reason I say that is because actually there's been some news that's come out around Bungie where they wanted to do more microtransactions and basically focused more around that element versus where Sony wants to be more putting story and actually putting game out there versus microtransactions. So yes, there's a debate about the whole Sony bit as well, but the way that Bungie has become over the last few years, a lot of the people that were fighting for the player have left, and the people that want to monetize everything are the ones that are still there.
Yeah,
that's why I'm more for Sony because they're more likely to fight for the player versus what's left.
Yeah, my issue is as an Xbox gamer and non-PlayStation gamer, the ownership of Sony could kind of fudge things up for me for Bungie games should they release anything in the future.
I mean, Death Stranding from a Sony game is a brilliant game, I must say.
Yeah, well,
you got Spider-Man.
We'll see. I mean, Destiny 3 is rumored to be in production.
That's been rumored for 10 years at this rate.
But it is highly rumored at the moment with a likely launch looking at around like 29, 28, 30.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And talking of gaming news, Anthem that released back in 2020, 2019 or something like that, has now shut their servers down. EA has now shut their servers and you can no longer play Anthem as a game, which is a shame because Anthem was actually quite enjoyable as a game. You gone for a really white webpage.
Yeah, kind of like something's closed down on me.
Yeah. But gaming wise, it feels a bit lackluster over the last few years.
Yeah, let's just move on from. I'm not going to waste any more time on gaming because it's looking really flat.
It's looking really, really flat. I mean, we can talk about a long list of stuff that we would love to come out.
And we've been chatting bollocks now for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Well, take the breaks out and probably 2.5 hours.
2 hours 20.
Let's move on to a bit of gear chat because we are Togs after all.
We are Togs, so talking about gear.
So
now
2025. I didn't buy a huge amount of gear in 2025. I bought a couple of drones, the Neo, probably before that actually. No, I did buy the Neo before that, and then I bought the DJI Flip last year. So yeah, that was great. But the sort of latter part of the year, quite a bit of gear. I bought this, which I've not used it yet, and that's the new Godox ML80.
Was it the Luminous, isn't it? Is it Litimus?
Well, no, I'm talking about that.
Yeah, but it's part of the same sort of ecosystem.
Ish, yes. So this isn't particularly Lightmon's branded, but the smaller ones are. I find a bit strange. So the ML80 buy, I'm really looking forward to using. I'm going to use that at MegaCon London next week. I also bought 3 of the Lightmon C30Rs, what you've just shown there. Really looking forward to using those. I also bought some of these recently, which are a bit like controversial. Some people love them, some people hate them.
And we are not sponsored by Godox. We just use a lot of their products.
But I bought myself a pair of the Meta glasses recently, which some people love, some people hate. I got the transition lenses. I bought them. Yeah, okay. There was some controversy spots of last year because some fucking idiot decided he was going to go around at a Comic-Con event and film people without
I think you're okay as long as you announce that you're wearing them.
And sparked off a lot of controversy because he was being a dick and wasn't announcing it. But there's no denying that from a creator or a photographer's perspective, there is a positive to using them for content. I'm going to be using them not necessarily in and around events, but I'm going to be using them for away from the event areas and out of con shoots for BTS POV shots with consent, obviously. I think the way to use them is not to just keep them on all the time. If you're walking out and about, don't keep them on all the time. Just put them on when you're going to film content. Get permission. Say, is it okay if I do this? This is my plan. This is what I want to do. And I think from a photographer's perspective, to have those glasses and be able to sort of see from a POV perspective in BTS what you are looking at, how you are lining up the shot, plus see the camera and back of camera shots in the same video, I think is a really great perspective.
I think so what's really good about, like we're saying, is like the POV is really good for that. Obviously, there are photographers that either have GoPros that are strapped to the chest, or they have
similar
camera
sort of
mounted on the hotkey on the camera. Now, if you've got a phone mounted or a camera mounted on your hotkey and your camera, means you're obviously limiting on triggers. Like the trigger that triggers the flash for those.
Plus, I would always prefer to see the view from behind the camera. I'd want the camera in the shot to see what the eye sees as opposed to what the camera sees, because there is a difference. So I'm gonna use them for that, mainly for the European photocons, where I'll also be using the DJI Neo to get some sort of like additional BTS footage, so that whoever's assisting me at the time can concentrate on helping me with lighting. But yeah, so that's my new gear for 2025. I bought the Sure Saturn earlier in the year, which I used a few times, well, quite a few times, but I'm going to use that more this year. But anything of point that you bought last year, Switch?
I think I bought 2 new lenses last year, as you know. I also bought a few new lights. I bought the Suru Venus anamorphic lens, which is very similar to the Saturn. Obviously, it's a slightly chunkier lens. It's bigger. It makes you feel more like a photography lens and versus
mine's carbon fiber.
That looks like a
mine's carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber looks like more like a burrito.
Yeah, it's fine. I can eat it.
There is another word that I did use to describe his lens. It doesn't look like a
flashlight. It's too small.
Okay, he decided to say it instead.
I said it. Yeah, I don't care.
It depends on the size that you equip in, I guess. Anyhow,
so go on, sorry.
I got the second lens, which I blame. I blame you for both lenses, to be truthful.
Okay, I'll take that.
I've also bought the Sigma 50 EF lens for the Canon. Obviously, they don't do an RF variation, but I utilize the adapter that I can utilize the 50 EF. I have not taken that fucking lens off since I bought it. I'm sorry, 2470. I really am sorry. But yes, I haven't taken that lens off. I absolutely fucking love it. It's the Sigma 50 art lens.
I mean, when I go to MegaCon next weekend, I am only taking my 50mm Sigma and my 50mm Saturn. That's it. So I'm taking with me.
Generally, what I put in my gear bag now is generally my Venus and my 50. That's essentially what I take now. I don't even bother packing my 2470 in.
No.
I do like the versatility of the 2470. I did miss that with the shoot I did this week, because I was like, well, how am I not getting the angles I got last time? And I went, I'm using the 50, not a 24. So space was an issue with that shoot.
Yeah.
But I still got better stuff with that particular lens.
I bought my Lumix S9 last year as well.
Lumix S9, yes.
Absolutely fucking love that camera.
It's great for a second body. That's a brilliant camera.
It's got some downfalls in the fact that it doesn't have a hot shoe, so I can't use flash.
But...
and it doesn't have a mechanical shutter. However, as I'm doing more and more stuff with LED lighting these days, it's not so critical. And the sensor in that thing is just fucking amazing. Your sound has gone.
Right, am I back?
You are.
Right. I blame Darren for these little beauties. They're nice, they're simple, they're small, they fit nicely in my bag.
So
Hack a fucking punch.
So my name's Darren, and I'm an enabler.
He is an enabler. But
so yeah,
I also got to admit, I was going to say is my other half buys a shitload of books, so I also get away with buying this shit because she feels guilty for buying books.
To be fair, those Lightman C30s, I mean, what are they? I think I paid about £55 a piece, and they're like a 30-watt light.
Yeah.
What are they going for at the moment on Amazon? Because they are just
between 50 and 60.
They're a 30-watt panel, RGB. They're 62 at the moment. I think the retail's like 75, 80. I think I paid about 55 for mine. I got them in a sale.
About 50, 60 for mine.
Yeah.
But the ones I want to get next,
like, just such great. And you can hook them up to your phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm literally lit by one now on this podcast, and it's on 2% with the diffuser on. I have it mounted to the wall on a screw bracket. You can use it either off its own rechargeable battery, or I've got mine plugged in on USB-C when I'm on a podcast. We're not sponsored by Godox, although I'd quite happily be, because
I'm more than happy.
I mean, I will say
use their products.
Last year for me was, I will say it's a bit of a game changer. I've used Godox lights for a lot of years. Even when I had my studio, before I had that, I've always had Godox lights in my collection. Last year was a changing point for me, where I've generally had various different makes of lights in my bag. So from Godox, newer, Rotolight, Falcon Eyes, whatever. Other than my two Falcon Eyes lights, the little small pocket panels, I have sold all of my non-Godox lighting. I am now fully invested in the Godox ecosystem. I've got the Godox AD300 flash, the AD100 Pro, and then I've got the LED. I've got the ML80 by, the ML60 by 2, and then 3 of these, the CR30s. I'm going to get the ML150 by. I'm also looking at the they've just launched the AD300 Pro 2 and the AD100 Pro 2. I'm looking at maybe one of each, or maybe just I'm not sure at the moment, but
I'm looking at the 300. I'm looking at the 300 Pro 2.
Yeah.
To go with. So for context, I already own.
Yeah.
I own one. My other half owns one of the 300 Pro, the AD300 Pro Mark 1s, essentially. I want to then invest into the AD300 Pro Mark 2s.
Yes.
I'm pretty much solitary Godox lighting at this point. I have used newer. I'm lit up with an Amaran tube light behind my monitors. I love that light, but I'm predominantly a Godox person. At one point, I was looking at the rotor system, but I found it very hard to shift away from.
I tried the rotor light system. It was great for a time, but I just felt that the ecosystem didn't fit well within my bag, the way I carried stuff, the way I used stuff.
Agreed.
Godox for me, and I'm sure a lot of photographers will agree, particularly, some of the professional commercial photographers use higher end stuff, ProPhoto, Broncolor, because of the color accuracy. Godox for me offers like 95% of what the pro end stuff does for about a third of the cost.
It's a reasonable price. It's not exactly an outrageous cost.
Exactly. It's not cheap. It's not budget. but I feel for what I do that the price of the gear is very well priced. The build quality and the quality of the light that
Yeah.
I get from it. But
Build
not only
quality's
that,
good.
the ecosystem for me with all the different modifiers and the Godox mount now has expanded to such a range that I can run a series of Godox flash and LED lights and have a bunch of modifiers that fit across the range. So for me, it's the ideal system. And for anyone that knows me, I've been doing this game for a lot of years, 30 plus years. One of the things I'm known for is not only my lighting style, but the quality of my lighting. And I would say probably from the last 5, 6 years plus, I've been moving more and more into Godox, particularly Flash. I've used nothing but Godox for probably the last 8 to 10 years. And I just find Godox lighting very, very easy to use. I can set up lights and know what I'm going to get. The settings, I know what I'm pretty much going to need. And the consistency for me is 95% there the majority of the time. Anything else I can adjust very easily in post. So it just makes sense. When I can buy. Go on, sorry.
I want to say for Godox, though, at the moment, they've done a lot of press releases recently on the lighting systems. Mixtures, like we said, the AD300, the AD100, was it 6 and 4s, 600 and 400 as
No,
well?
800. They've just
Oh,
released.
800.
Yeah.
So they got the 800, and I shared a post with Darren recently, literally before we started recording the podcast, which is the P600R and the 1200R.
Yeah.
Well, 1200, 600 and 1200R are very much, based off of the video format, are very studio light-esque. Like, it's not something you'd want to put in your compact gear, take around here and there, but very useful for studio settings. And I actually quite liked the versatility that it had. It's like a 6-minute video, like the release video for it was 6 minutes long. But I was actually really impressed the whole way through with the controls that it had from other parties and whatnot. Anyway,
I mean, just the 600 is like 700 watt. It's like $3,000, but it does show you. Obviously, with Godox now, they've got multiple levels. You've got the normal Godox, you've got the Godox Pro, you've got the Godox light ones, and then you've got the Godox no LED. The no LED is like the higher end of the LED, like the pro level commercial gear. So of course it's going to, command
really,
a lot more
really
money. But yeah, I do like what they're doing. They're launching a lot of stuff. They're being very innovative with their tech. And I like
it
the way
very
they're
usable,
out
friendly
there.
across different
Totally.
platforms.
But a lot of it's interchangeable as well. So,
Exactly.
apart from the no LED RS and MS range where they've got a different mount for it, a lot of the other stuff is very, very interchangeable. And I really like what they're doing. I just can't fault them at all.
Oh no!
So let's move on from selling Godox.
Yeah, sponsorship, please. Yes, please. I mean,
because there is definitely going to be more Godox. I mean, I'm going to the photography show in March, and I'm dreading it because I'm going to spend a fortune.
I'm not spending anything yet.
The other things I'm looking to upgrade this year are my main camera body. So I'm
going to go for the new Lumix.
So I was originally going to go for the new Leica SL3 reporter body, which also uses the the L mount. Okay. Yeah. If I could pick one up in Japan when I go at some point this year, I could get one for about $4,000, but they're really rare, so it's unlikely.
You sure you don't want to close that door behind you before you start talking about camera bodies?
No, it's fine. I can just I'll plead the fifth. So it's likely that as much as I would love it, I'm probably going to go for the Lumix launched the S1R Mark II, which had like a 40-odd megapixel sensor, which was 50-50 love and hate when it came out. And then they released the S1 Mark II, which was like a 24 megapixel, which everyone raved about. However, they've since released some new firmware for the S1R2. And it has brought a lot of the features of the S1 II to the S1R2, but you've still got the 44 megapixel sensor. So I think that's going to be my upgrade this year. I'm still going to keep the S5. The S5 for me was a game-changing body upgrade. I moved years ago. I used to be a Canon shooter, and I moved to Micro Four Thirds because it was mirrorless, smaller, lighter. Getting older, I wanted the weight change, the smaller bodies, and Canon at the time had nothing available.
I felt like your camera's fucking heavy.
No, it's not really. Not compared to an old DSLR.
Yeah, no. If you get rid of that
one I used to shoot were like 5Ds and stuff.
Off, yeah.
So 2016, Canon had nothing available. They were still DSLR. Their mirrorless was crap. So I moved to Panasonic Lumix, and I shot with them until 2022, and I'd been looking to move back to full frame. And when my mum passed away, she left me a very small amount of money, but I decided to use it to upgrade to full frame. And I stayed with Lumix, and I moved to the S5. And the S5 for me was a game changer. There was things I couldn't do with Micro Four Thirds with dynamic range and the way that I shot that I could now do with the S5. The color science in the S5 is fantastic. When the S5 II came out, the color science wasn't as great, so I stuck with the S5, and I'm glad I did. The S9 that I've got is a great backup, but the S1R Mark II with the bigger megapixel sensor and a lot of the new tech and updates, I think, is the way I need to go to progress moving forward. Lens-wise, as much as I would love to buy the new Sirui Astra autofocus anamorphic, it's still only a 1.33 times squeeze, and I'm quite happy with the 1.5 or 1.6 that we've got.
Like manual element of.
Yeah, I do as well. It just that the whole idea of shooting in a cinematic way is being able to dial everything in.
Like that about the cinematic lens is so when we say cinematic lens, we're talking about an anamorphic lens.
Yeah.
For me, I love the manual element of it. It
definitely
it tests you as a photographer as well from a creative point of view. But sometimes it's like if you've got a shot, even if it's out of focus, you can still really make that shot look
absolutely.
Dare I say it's cinematic. But there's something about working with a manual lens again that really kind of hones that creative element to something, and it's taking away that ability to be like it's as nice as I love an autofocus, don't get me wrong. My 50mm Sigma autofocus, my 24-70 autofocus, it's still great for what I want it to do, but if I'm going to go for that anamorphic style, I want to be able to have that control with it a little bit more. And I think the full frame that we both of us have within our lenses, both the Saturn and the Venus, is both full frame. But to be able to play that is really quite nice, and I don't think I would want to give that up for the sake of an autofocus.
Same. I mean, there's lens-wise this year, I want to get the Sigma 35 DGDN f2, which is like the small compact lens, mainly as a travel lens for the S9. I just want a nice small lens that I can stick on the S9, go traveling with, be a little bit inconspicuous, 35mm fixed focus. I'm also looking at some Leica M-mount lenses that I can use for a similar sort of thing. So that'll be manual focus with a small M-mount adapter, some of the Voigtlander something like the Ultron 35mm f2. Again, just for like traveling, street photography, touring around, going to Japan at some point this year. Obviously, got a lot of European cons. I've got Pit Visha in April, Volta in May. My 50th birthday in July, where we're off to Italy in a similar sort of region to Volta. So, just literally going to take the S9 single lens, snap some cool stuff.
I'm just gonna be the model.
I also want to upgrade one of my drones this year, but the drone laws have changed a lot this year.
I think drone way out on that. I think you got some really great drones at the moment, and I think
there
hasn't really been much of a change in a drone.
I've got direction. The Neo and the Flip. I want to change the Neo for the Neo 2 because it's got some really great features.
The Neo did really well with the BTS stuff when we were over in France.
It did. The Neo 2 is better in a similar sort of body, just slightly bigger, with better quality recording. I love the Flip for being so compact, but I was planning on getting the Mini 5 Pro this year, but the way the drone laws have changed in the UK, the Mini 5 Pro now, because of its weight, actually falls pretty much for the next 2 years into the same category as the Air 3S, which is a bigger, much better quality, much more established drone. So I'm going to get a used one at some point this year from MPB for about the same kind of price as the Mini 5 Pro, which, I don't generally fly over people or any of that bollocks. I generally use it sort of in the middle of nowhere, filming some nice scenery. If I want to film near people, it's generally either the Flip, which is 249 grams, or the Neo, which is like tiny. So yeah, lens wise, I would like the Sigma 50 f1.2. I got the 1.4, so it's not a necessity, but it's an upgrade that I would like at some point this year.
I would like Sigma to do an RF variation.
They will.
I just want it sooner than later.
Yeah. Lighting wise,
photography show they might tell us
some bits and pieces of lighting, maybe some of the 2 ranges of the 300 or the 100 flashes, but we'll see.
I think, have you seen going back? I mean, for me, I haven't really put a kit list together. I think I've maxed myself out with the 50. I quite like the idea of potentially getting an 85 Sigma. A part of me really wants to try and work out if Canon's going to stop being a dick and allows Sigma to do RF variations of the lens.
So in this situation, it's not actually Canon being a dick. Sigma have been given permission to manufacture RF full frame lenses. However, there are certain stipulations that Sigma have to adhere to with regards to weather sealing and quality. So they are in development, from what I gather from my contact at Sigma. They're just going to take time. So they are from what I know, they are coming and they will come.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just going to take time.
To be fair, it's just like, I think if they were releasing this year, that means by the time I'm ready to buy one, they'll be at a relatively decent price that I can afford. I
will say my Sigma 85mm, the DGDN Art, is by a country mile my favorite lens.
I know. I've seen you shoot with it.
The quality is just so fucking nice.
The thing is that's the thing is I have gone very much in your lead with the fact that you've gone with the 50. 50 for me has always been like, everyone talks about the nifty 50. See that this isn't the nifty 50. It's
it's much
50,
bigger.
But 50 is a standard, is very much the standard size for photography. But you were shooting when we were in focus. You did shoot with the 85 down end. Stunning, images.
Yeah. So
between that, it's like the 35 or the 85.
I always like the 50mm is absolutely stunning. However, I will say the 50mm still surprises me.
It really
There's
does.
sometimes I go back, I shoot with the 50 a lot of the time because it is such a versatile range.
So good.
And I'll often shoot with the 50 for like a whole day. I'd only shoot a couple of images on the 85.
Yeah,
And I'll
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
and I'll get back home. The 85 always wows on the back of the camera. And the 50 is like, yeah, it's a 50. And
So
I'll get home and I'll look at the images on the 50 on my computer and I'll be like, oh shit, I shot that with the 50.
yeah. Just,
It is such a stunning lens.
what's talking about?
And it's a really the version I use and you use, the HSM art,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a really old version now. They do the newer version, which is TGDN, and then they do the newer version again, which is the F1.2.
Don't
But
get me
even
wrong
the
though, the one that
HSM,
we're
just
using is
stunning. It's fucking
stunning.
stunning. I can't fault it.
So in 2026, I'm 5 shoots into the year. This year, we're on day 16 of the year. So 5 shoots this year so far. Saturday I did a boudoir session with a couple of girls from the cosplay community. I tell you what, I've got one image up in front of me that I'm just looking at. I'm like, I show it with the 50mm, the Art 50. It is stunning, absolutely fucking stunning. So what I did at this shoot that I'm actually really quite happy with I did this year. So at the end of the year, one of the bit of kit that I got, and again, it's the enabler's fault. I decided to go with upgrade for a tablet. So I'm an Apple user, so I've got Apple phone, I had an Apple iPad. What I've done is this time is I've moved over to Samsung Galaxy, but I've gone with the Ultra S11. And do I tell you what, the quality of this screen, and Darren knows this because that's one of the things. I mean, you've got the Ultra 9.
Yeah, it's such a great tablet.
It's such a beautiful tablet and it's such a big display. But what I'm doing now is I'm taking the display with me to shoots and I'm syncing it almost very much with wireless connectivity.
Yeah, it's
So that
great
when
it's great for tablet shooting.
it is tether shooting, it's brilliant. So what I'm doing is I'm taking it for tether shooting and I'm showing my customers, my models, the shots off the tablet instead of the back of the camera. And
Yeah.
it's such good quality for
Yeah,
the
yeah. Because it's
camera.
like a 14.6-inch screen. It's like fantastic.
It's so good. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I'm going away and editing it, and I'm doing all the stuff in post. I'm doing all the clearing it up, changing lighting, shadows, retouches in here and there. I'm sending it to my clients, and I've got one in front of me right now that I can't share. But I'm so happy with this. This is such a really good thing, and it comes from the Sigma 50mm lens. Now, I'm not saying I couldn't get this from another 50mm lens, but I'm just again, Sigma, if you want to promote us and sponsor us, by all means, go for it. Not like you're going to listen to this. But anyway, Godox Sigma, come our way, please. It's such a nice little lens. It's so good, so versatile. It's great. Yeah, it involves a little bit of movement. I mean, I was an advocate for so long for the 24-70 lens because of the versatility, but you're looking at a 2.8 f-stop here, whereas I'm now looking at a 1.4.
Yeah,
And
it's a big difference.
that makes a massive difference. But again, I still love the 24-70 for the versatility if you're on the move.
Yeah, just the focal range. Yeah, it's great.
Great lens. But from a studio shoot, this lens is just beautiful.
I mean, from a versatility perspective, I'm generally a prime shooter. A few years ago, I bought a Sigma 28-70, and it's from their contemporary range. It's not the art range. It's not all singing or dancing, but it's f2.8. It's small and compact, and I tell you what, the optical quality of that would rival a lot of more expensive ranges. And it's small and compact, and it is absolutely fantastic. But for the amount of time I need a wider lens or a zoom lens, it's great because I can use it for traveling, or I can use it in the studio or use it for cons, and it still nails the quality. I took it to Norway in May, and it absolutely didn't miss a beat. And on the S9, it was still very, very small and compact. It didn't look out of place. It felt really well weighted. I just couldn't fault it.
I think from a camera perspective, I think we can nerd out this for another 3 hours. But I think we should wrap.
Let's move on.
For me personally, I haven't got anything. I haven't got anything other than a 35 and 85 on my list. But that's something that will happen later down the line. I have other priorities.
So, what's coming in 2026? So obviously, we've got various shoot projects. Which you know what? So I don't think I'm going to talk about on here because I'm going to keep. We're going to talk about projects.
We're going to go train the Nexus.
Yeah. Well, obviously we've got. Let's talk about UK cons first.
Yes,
because I think we've both talked about our UK cons going forwards, and I'm doing a lot less this year. I wasn't planning on doing MegaCon London originally. However, a friend of mine is doing a stage performance on the Saturday, and I've now been asked to do a panel on the Sunday. So I'm going to be at MegaCon London next weekend, which I'm looking forward to. It's a great event.
Yeah, so.
Other than that, I'm not sure what UK cons I'm doing this year.
I mean, so I think you're doing more UK cons than me because, like you said, you're doing MegaCon London. I'm attending MegaCon London, but I'm not shooting MegaCon London. That's the important part.
I am doing the MCM Birmingham, the new dates in August.
Again, though, that's you. It's like for me, I've almost to the point I have put a post out about this. It's like 2026, I will not be shooting MCM MegaCon.
I'm only doing MegaCon London because obviously I'm doing a panel, and I'm only doing the MCM August dates because
it's new.
It's new and it's local to me. So I am staying over because I got a bargain of a hotel. And I genuinely think that August will be a good date for MCM Birmingham. And at the moment, that is the only UK mainstream cons I plan to attend. Obviously, Secret Cons. We've got Secret Con in March, at the Bunker, and Secret Con in June, which are going to be great events. The rest of the year, I'm going to be spending events out of the country. So I've got Picvisha in April, I've got Volta in May, and I'm also going to apply to Focus in September. Other than that, really, it's on to Nexus stuff.
Hang on, we're talking about you, and what about me? I'm still
here. I thought you were doing the same.
Well, no, I bumped my table, which then knocked my mic out. But then it didn't make a difference because you're still talking. So it's like, hey, he's still talking. He's keeping them entertained. It's fine.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh, for me, I'm essentially from a Tog point of view or photography point of view, I am essentially shooting Secret Con. That's it. Outside of Secret Con, any shoots I'm shooting is going to be planned as shoots outside of cons. I already have a few people that are interested in doing projects outside of cons. I've already done a few this year, hence why I said I've got 5 shoots done under my belt this year so far. I'm already 16 days in. So I will still be attending certain days of megacons in London, megacons and MCMs, but I will not be togging. I will be there to see friends, and kind of come around and just see everybody. That's it. I'm not going to take photos, and to do that, I feel like I've lost that sort of connection with the events and with people in that sense. It's like, as much as it's going to kill me, it's kind of almost a necessary step that I've got to take. So from a shooting perspective,
yeah, UK cons are expensive at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I'm essentially, like Darren was saying, he's got Pick Vita in April.
Yeah,
I'm going out there as his assistant for that with one other. Guessing he's still coming.
You are?
No, not me. Him.
Pardon?
Is Andy still coming?
Andy is, yeah. So, as it stands at the moment.
Yeah, so you got myself, Andy, and Darren going out to Pick Vita in April, a week before my wedding. She approved
what
it.
What can possibly go wrong?
What could probably go wrong? Yeah, I'm not turning up for my wedding.
I'm not getting the blame for that.
It's your fault. Anyway, it's so Big Vita. I'm going as an assistant, but we've also got some other projects going on, which you'll hear about with Nexus in a minute.
I hope to apply to
I'll also
both,
be the next episode of Cosplay, Togs, and all things nerdy.
Yes,
which is exciting. I've just had confirmation for that. Anyway, we'll talk about that at the end of the episode.
Plus the documentary that we're going to film.
Documentary and vlogs that we're going to be trying to do. The only thing I will not be supporting Darren in is Volta. I'm so upset and distraught that I didn't get in, that I've told him to go fuck himself. No, all jokes aside, there's so many talented people that applied for Volta.
Incredible.
Mixture between cosplayers and photographers. It's also, in my opinion, one of the most high up end of events within the European photography con scenes. I unfortunately didn't get accepted. Darren did, and also our friend James. Congratulations! I'm so fucking proud of you, mate, for getting into Volta as well as Pick Beta. You fucking deserve it. It wasn't my time. I'm fine with it. I'm upset a little bit, but I'm also mostly quite glad I didn't get in.
But at the same time, you started a new job and you hadn't really got the annual leave anyway.
Exactly. So it kind of worked out in my favor because I also want to put some focus into, well, ironically, focus.
Yeah.
Wasn't a pun in words. It was just bad.
And I'll kind of be showing you like the sites in the area of Volta when we go out for my birthday in July.
Exactly. So obviously got Darren's birthday this year. So we're going out to Italy. So, just
on that, in July 21st to the 26th, we'll be out in Valleggio, so Lombarda. Anyone
we will miss the con
in that region, or near that region that is interested in the shoot, please let me know. We're over there for like 5 days, so we'll gladly do a shoot here. Let me know.
There will be 3 photographers in total.
Yes, there will indeed.
Just don't allow hot tubs or certain bars, and we'll be fine. Anyway, jokes aside on that one, we got Italy later in the year that we're going to go out for Darren's birthday to celebrate that.
And hopefully
focus. We'll announce more about that when we get there. We've had discussions between myself and Darren about focus anyway, but we'll announce that a little bit later once we've fine-tuned that.
And focus is one I'm definitely looking forward to applying because I still say it is so far one of my favorite events.
I think for me, it's because it's one of my first events that I went to. For me, it holds a special place, and I really want to get into that one. So, Choo, if you're listening, hi. Obviously, jokes aside, it obviously they don't make the final decision, as we know from the episode. It goes down to a board of committees of who selects.
But honestly, I attended Focus for the first time last year, and for me, it is one of the most welcoming events in Europe with the most stunning and varied and versatile locations I have seen from any European con. It was just hands down
such a beautiful place in France as well.
And so for us from the UK as well, which some places can be particularly difficult to get to. Coming from the UK, it is so cheap and simple to get to. And the area to stay in is very cost effective. It's easy to get around. Just hands down my favorite event. So, right, let's talk about Nexus then.
Yes, Nexus.
So, for anyone that doesn't know, Nexus 13, it's a new project set up by Switch and myself. I'm not going to bore you all with the story of how it came up with the name, but it is largely based around. I will say it. Nexus is obviously a derivative of Blade Runner, which is my all-time favorite movie, and very influenced in the cyberpunk-esque scene.
And also very cinematic.
Very cinematic. There's that word again. And 13 years is the difference between the age of Switch and myself. So, there we go. Nexus 13. So we are officially registered as a limited company. We are a business. We are moving forward in 2026. We will be doing some events throughout the year and beyond. Just to be clear to anyone, um, this will not affect my involvement in SecretCon. I will still continue to be a director and we will still continue to run events as we would normally. This is going to be very, very different in the fact is Nexus 13 is all about themed cosplay events. So we are going to be launching this year
not
Arcane. Go on, sorry.
we're not just, and this is something that we will probably get into after cosplay elements. To go back to what we were saying, SecretCon, the derivative is there is a massive difference between Nexus 13 and SecretCon. The only link between SecretCon and Nexus 13 is Darren as a director of both businesses. So, with that said, we are not just a cosplay events company.
No,
now.
I was going to come on to that.
Yeah, I just thought I'd just fine tune that for people who are listening.
Yeah,
we have decided to make our business very versatile.
Yes, so we're still going to be very stylized, but we are for the cosplay element. We're going to be themed. So, based around each event will be based around a fandom. So this year we are aiming to do an Arcane and a Cyberpunk event. But we're also going to do workshops. So we're going to do a workshop based around cinematic photography. There's that word again. We believe that with my skills and experience and knowledge and Switch's skills and knowledge and passion around cinematic photography, as well as some other people we're going to have involved in this workshop to help teach and mentor people, that we've got what it takes to run a workshop around this theme. Now, this is going to be largely based and aimed at photographers. So we're going to run workshops where we will have a space, a theme. We'll have some not only cosplayers, but also non-cosplay models as well involved in this workshop. So we'll be able to teach and mentor people in all aspects of a cinematic photography, including lighting, composition, shooting styles, editing, etc., etc. We're going to launch more information at a later date. But that is going to be in addition to the two cosplay focused events we are looking to run. At a later date, we're also looking to run some more non cosplay focused events. So at some point, we're going to be looking to run a largely non cosplay focused European tour. So that will be mainly aimed around people that want to shoot a range of things, including fashion, lingerie, other not safe for work aspects in a country that isn't the UK. Exactly. Fine art, art nude, drone portraits, likely to be somewhere in the regions of Spain, Portugal, Italy,
Germany,
Germany,
yeah.
exactly. More details will be announced on that as we go. But that is likely to be from 2027 and beyond. But this year is mainly going to be focused around the two themed cosplay events and the workshop. If was there anything else we had aimed for this year, Switch?
So 2026, the aim for 2026, and if we can achieve it, amazing. So as a lot of you are already well aware, we've been planning for a while an Arcane League of Legends event. So we are in communication with a venue. I don't know if we're
in the final stages of sorting the venue. We just need to agree the date now.
So this is where we're at to. So we have two venues in place for two cosplay events. We're in the process of just agreeing some final bits and pieces with them. So League of Legends Arcane is one of the events. A cyberpunk themed event is going to be the second event for the year. Our first educational piece, which will be the cinematic, there is a title for it. I can't remember off the top of my head what we've decided to name it, but it's essentially a course in regard into cinematic photography, posing, how to shoot it.
Into the Shadowverse,
whatnot.
the name.
Yeah. Anyway, So we have this course. We have a wonderful person involved in this as well, which we need to finalize details with. And we are hoping to then, at the later end of this year, look at doing a third event, which is not a cosplay event. This will be focused around the more of the not safe for work variety of events. But this is something that we want to try and push this in. And we're both very well aware that might not necessarily be for everybody.
No,
We want that versatility within the Nexus 13 brand to be able
exactly.
to
Yeah.
be a photography theme of a photography events
A
business.
photography events business, not just obviously we've got the experience in cosplay. But myself and Switch have also got a lot of experience in non-cosplay areas, and we feel that we've got the versatility to be able to bring that to, because there's a lot of crossover. There's a lot of people that do cosplay that want to do non-cosplay, whether that be fashion or not safe for work, and vice versa.
Even
So we want to
corporate or
kind of bring
headshots
that
or
together.
whatever.
One thing that we have agreed that will remain key and high focus in our events is the artistic, creative, and cinematic element. We won't do. I use the word smut. The more smuttier, lewd type events. We will do some not safe for work content. However, our aim will always be artistic and creatively focused. So that's one thing that you can be assured of. And even with the not safe for work aspects and shoots, we will always approach those from an artistic, creative, and cinematic angle. So we've got a lot of great stuff to look forward to.
Also, in regards to that side, we also wanted to be a very safe space as well. We don't want it to become a space that is not safe. We also will be looking for individuals across cosplay, fashion, not safe for work, and other areas as resident models.
Yes. Yes.
So one thing I do want to mention is, so when we look at the Arcane League of Legends, we're not saying that you can't bring something to it, but it has to be within the Arcane League of Legends world or inspired by said world. Because what we don't want is 15 Spider-Mans turning up. It has to be something either from that world or inspired by that design genre. So it allows your creativity to flow and create something that fits within that world.
Yeah. So we will.
Sorry.
So for that reason, we will be running, for those events, we will be running an application process, and it'll be much in the similar vein to Secret Con, and that will be purely to verify that you are a cosplayer, photographer, videographer, so that we don't get any general public buying tickets, but also from a cosplayer perspective, that you are looking to cosplay something from that fandom. So, if you apply for the Arcane League of Legends event and you put on your application that you're looking to cosplay Spider-Man, unfortunately you will be rejected. It is as simple as that, because we are a themed event and we were looking to people from that theme. That said, we do also appreciate that people's plans change. So if you apply and say, I want to do Jinx, and then all of a sudden your plans change and you think you're not going to be able to do that and you're going to be able to do another character from the same fandom, that really isn't an issue. So the application process is pretty much a formality, providing you are invested in that fandom, if you get where I'm coming from.
Also, though, what I want to say, and adding on to that bit, so brilliant example is when we were at MCM London, for example, not London, MCM Birmingham. We saw a Rapunzel Jinx. Now, an argument could be said that if you're doing a crossover that is within the Arcane League of Legends world,
absolutely,
that's not necessarily saying that won't be accepted.
Absolutely.
Because as long as you're focusing creatively wise within that fandom, then it will be most likely will be approved. It's just
That
that we
was a
just don't.
really incredible cosplay, by the way. And again, this is why we run in the application process. And when you are applying, when we launch applications, please put as much information as you can, even if you think it's irrelevant, because we can review it and we can go from there.
Exactly. And what I want to say extra for the events, and this will go across the board for all events that we will run. At some point, myself and Darren will come together and we will be approaching people for the potentially do residency with Nexus. Now, what you're probably asking yourself is, what does residency mean in regards to Nexus? What that means is essentially be here as part of the team. You'll have involvement within an event, and what that would probably potentially involve you in doing is that someone who is well known within that creative design element, within that theme, or that
Within that
genre.
fandom or something, yeah.
Genre. And what it would be meaning entail is, yes, you would potentially be volunteering and working for the event and working for Nexus 13 in such capacity, but you would have input within how the event is ran. But what you'd also be required to do is essentially roaming around the event and also be able to give AIM support and advice to individuals for posing, for
Yeah,
other
exactly.
elements to support, and elements like this, so that we can kind of really help and support creativity and
Exactly.
community.
Yeah. Yeah. We will also give you, obviously, we're not in a position to pay people to do this. We're a new company. However, we will support with obviously your own ticket to the event, a +1 if you need an assistant, and maybe one or two other free tickets for you to give out to friends, etc. Within, as long as they're going to attend within the same fandom. With regards to the Cyberpunk event that we're going to do, we're going to do that a little bit looser in terms of it will still be Cyberpunk, but it won't be necessarily Cyberpunk the game. It will be Cyberpunk the style. So that can be Cyberpunk 2077, the original Cyberpunk game. It can be Necromancer. It can be Johnny Mnemonic. It can be a
Almost
general
steampunk.
techwear Cyberpunk style. So that was going to be a little bit more loose than normal. Um, However, what you can be assured of is these events will be not only fantastic venues, but we'll also have some key areas within the event that are decked out with some set design. We'll leave some areas that are a little bit more bare for you to do whatever you wish with regards to lighting and shooting. But they should be really great events. They're going to be new for us, so please bear with us. But obviously, as you know, I've got the background with SecretCon for event organizing, which we've gone from strength to strength. So we hope that we can bring you the events that you want to see. But if you do have any ideas, suggestions, anything you'd like to see, reach out, give us a shout. We're all ears.
With that instead, with Nexus, we will also be releasing at some point within 2026 a Discord channel.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
Discord channel will be a mixture of multiple different things. It'll be a community space for cosplayers and photographers, also models within variety different areas. But also, this will be the place that when we are arranging a new event, when you buy a ticket and purchase a ticket, you will be given a link to access a certain channel that will allow you to connect with others that are attending said event, both between models, cosplayers, and also photographers. That allows you to then socialize with one another to be able to arrange shoots and plan and structure. Very similar to how a lot of events across Europe do across Discord, but also what SecretCon does within the Facebook platform as well. So there will be a Nexus Discord releasing over the next however many, when we can get time to actually set this up. It will happen before the first event, which will most likely won't happen until mid to back end of this year, potentially, just because obviously we're now at the start of 2026.
Yeah.
We were hopefully trying to start this year with it, but it we will explain later on when we're allowed to, in regards to when we do a release of of venues, and it will become very, very clear why we haven't announced anything
It'll
sooner.
be soon. It'll be soon.
It'll be soon.
We hope to be able to announce venues for both the first two main events by sometime in February and get tickets on sale. And hopefully soon after that, we should be able to announce a cinematic one too.
So we're talking about sale prices. This will obviously vary, but we are kind of trying to keep it as cost effective as possible. Obviously, we have to, as a business, be able to run to the point that we are covering a business, but we are also not trying to make prices extortionate.
Yeah, we know times are hard for everyone at the moment, including us. So I think we're hoping to keep it around there or thereabouts the £25 mark if we can. Give or take a few pound either way. For the main events, the cinematic workshop obviously is going to be largely aimed at photographers, and that will be at a higher cost. But that's because we'll have various people to pay to be involved in it, and it's going to be more of a tutorial mentoring session. There'll be much fewer spaces, etc., etc.
Very hands-on, and
absolutely
also venues.
That's going to be more of a learning experience, but we'll keep you posted on that as soon as we can.
But saying that, obviously, if you're not a photographer, we also are taking into consideration models and cosplayers and other elements outside of photography, and we are in the process of obviously putting plans in place to run other training days and other events as such, very similar to the cinematic workshop, focused around very different areas with it. So it's a matter of just keeping an eye on our socials and seeing what's going on. We will also be releasing a website at some point this year as well, which will have all this information and key details of
I mean, now we're officially registered as a business. It allows us to sort of push forwards. We've officially registered as a limited company as well. So you know, not only have you got my involvement in Secret Con, but also the fact that we're registered as a limited company to hold us to account and know that we are serious in what we do. So I think that
you can find us on Company House. Essentially, we are fully registered as a limited business.
So I think
you are strong.
I think that closes out this episode for now. Lots has happened. Lots is gonna happen. We'll feedback accordingly on MegaCon, which I'm doing. Well, you're coming along, aren't you, Switch?
I'm attending potentially this Saturday.
Yeah. I think it'd be good to. We'll do a bit of a wash-up episode from that because I'm attending as a photographer and as a panel host. I'm also going to try and do some podcast stuff if I get time.
I still need to edit the podcast stuff from the end of Birmingham.
You're attending as a con goer as well.
I am. Yes, I can tell you all about I can tell you about the trampoline and how excited my child loves jumping up and down the slide.
Yeah, let's get together after and we'll do a bit of a wash up on that.
I can tell you all about the kids zone. The kids zone is full of adults and children screaming.
More so adults, probably.
I'll be at the bar.
I might join you.
Anyhow, guys, this has been longer than we probably anticipated.
Much longer.
Much, like 2 hours longer. That's what happens when you get us drinking and not having a conversation face to face in a long time. Anyway,
I need to go and get some food.
So anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to kickstart 2024. I want to say 2024, then it's not. It's 2026. 2026 off with a bang. We've got a busy year ahead of us between projects, Nexus, Cosplay Togs. Cosplay Togs. Next episode. I'll make this quick. So there's a little event.
Recording?
February 6th is our recording date.
Recording date, yeah.
Potentially recording date. It has been confirmed all parties are involved. So there's a small event called Pick Vita. It happens yearly. We might have had No, I mean, we're already going in April. We're going to do a slight documentary. Anyhow, so we have the team over at Pick Beta. You would remember Julie and Rumini from Beta. They joined us on an episode a few months back after we went to Focus. We also have one other from their team as well joining us. So this is going to be completely a Pick Beta focused episode. We are going to do that on the 6th of Feb, hopefully.
Should be good.
And essentially, what it's going to do is it's going to basically a little bit more of a deep dive into European cons, especially around the Pick Vita side of things. Now that we're in that middle period between selection and the event,
That should lead quite nicely into the documentary that we want to do during the event in April, which we want to give a bit more of a deep dive into what it's like to attend as a photographer, right from the I'm going to document some of the planning and organizing stage, and also traveling there, what it's like when you get out there, what it's like shooting out there, but also we're going to chat to some of the people out there, some of the cosplayers, some of the photographers, and some of the organizers as well. So we're going to do a little bit of a video documentary, which I think no one else has done yet for one of the European events. So we're really looking forward to doing that because there's a lot of people in the UK that want to attend these events that are either applying and haven't been accepted yet, or they don't know whether to apply or not. And we're hoping that this will help them and in giving them as much information as we can.
And in the conversations we've had with the event organizers themselves, this last event was probably their most applied for event.
Absolutely, without doubt.
So we will be getting questions in regards to that from them and how they what they expected and how they felt during that time.
Totally.
We have full-on collaboration pieces in regards to the next episode, as well as the documentary with Pick Vita. So this will be a special between both Cosplay Togs and also Pick Vita themselves. We are honored to have them on, and the fact that they've agreed to allow us to do this.
Definitely.
It's brilliant. So with that said, look forward to the next episode. We have some great shit planned for the rest of this year as well. We might not know what that is yet, but we have great shit planned. So with that said, I don't want to waste any more of your time. We've wasted 4 hours almost. Probably less than that by the time I've edited this. Anyway, I've been Switch. I've been accompanied by iPhotoUK. This is Cosplay Togs and all things nerdy. You can find us pretty much on most platforms. Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, blah, 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 blah. All at Cosplay Togs and all things nerdy. You can find us, if you want to find myself, you can find me at switch_8.9 or switch.gonedark if you want my more professional side of things. And if you want iPhotoUK, aka Darren, is like iPhotoUK on Instagram, or is it iPhotoUK Gone Dark or something?
iPhotoUK After Dark for my non-cosplay stuff, which is going to be kind of like rebooted this year.
Hopefully, he actually posts some shit on there some point this year.
Maybe. We'll see.
He's done a lot of work to get it up and running, but not done.
We'll see after MegaCon because I have something planned for next weekend, so we'll see.
Okay, so the Shrine to Chloe Hill is coming. Anyhow, all jokes aside, thank you very much, guys.
Take care, guys.
This has been Cosplay Talks on All Things Nerdy.
See you soon.
Bye.